on today, and of course we've got Carlton Blues against Port Adelaide. Should be a cracking game tonight with two teams battling it out to climb up the ladder. There we go, 4 minutes to start time. Just have a look at the quick ladder here. We've got Carlton. Let me just check this for a moment. Might be a sec. Won't be a sec. We're getting there. We're getting there. There we go. All right. All right. We'll be with you in a minute. I know, a little bit slow to start. I just want to try and position this up for you as best I can. As best I can, try and get that a little bit straighter. Right, how's that? Bit better? Just trying to angle it in. Anyway, there we go. We can see Carlton, they're second on the ladder, 2.5 games behind Sydney, and of course Port Adelaide 7th. Now, Port Adelaide are on 44 points. They're only 1 game behind Carlton. So Port Adelaide are looking for that victory tonight. And they are a chance to move up into second, at least third. Let's have a quick look at the team lineups. There is the lineups there for the teams. And as I heard not too long ago, I heard that Harry McKay is out. He is an out for Carlton. He's a big out. So that should be interesting to see what happens down forward there for the Blue Baggers. Being said, should be a good game. I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm actually thinking Port Adelaide might actually do this one tonight. But there are the lineups for the teams. And of course, the ins for Carlton: Brodie Kemp, Mitch McGovern, Mark Pinanette. There we go, Pinanette. A couple of good ins there for the Blues. Sam Duran, Black Acres, and Tom De Koning out. Big outs also for the Blues. Of course, for Port Adelaide, we've got Kane Farnell and Lockie Jones coming in, and Dylan Williams, Ollie Lloyd omitted from Port Adelaide. Milestones, William Drew plays his 100th for Port Adelaide. And there we are. Now let me see how that lines up. But we're only about a minute and a tick before the start of the first bounce here at Marvel Stadium. Now, Port Adelaide have got a very good record here at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. So I'm actually going to go for Port Adelaide, folks. I'm going to go for Port Adelaide. That all being said, it should be a fantastic game in the making. Should be a fantastic game in the making. Now, we do have a poll there. If you're here for the live of the game, we do have a poll. Who do you think is going to win, Carlton or Port Adelaide? Should be a cracking game. There you go. But the players are out on the ground. The umpire is about to bounce the ball. We've got 1.5 minutes to the start of the game. Umpires toss the coin. Port Adelaide win the toss. They're going to be kicking left of screen. So I might actually hand over to the commentators down on the ground, and let's enjoy this game. Carlton versus Port Adelaide. Enjoy, folks.
Number one in the competition, and when they kick over 100 points, they win more often than not. So they're going to enjoy playing here. So there's that home ground advantage, Franny.
Yes, geez, I butchered that, haven't I? I'll go to work on that. Maybe you get dropped back to the reserves next week. You're doing the VFL.
Righto, now let's get stuck into it. Who's it a big night for?
Big night for Adam Chera. So we know he's had a few problems with injury. So last week he played at half-back. You just got to get him back going for the Carlton Footy Club when Adam Chera's playing at his best. Whether that be in the midfield or they're going to try and continue with half-back, he needs to play well and get his form going.
And continuity. Who we got, Tomahawk?
I'm going Ollie Hollands. Outside, I mentioned it before, Blake Acres out. I think he is one that they're going to really look for some speed and drive.
Geordie?
I haven't got much time, but I've gone Jordan Sweet. What I want to see tonight is long hits. Try and clear that congestion. Let your mids go to work.
Right, I've already spoken about Jason Horn-Francis, so I'm going to throw Big Pitto in there. So he's going to go smash and crash and bash and see if he can't give his boys a look. This is a fantastic game. This has got absolute credibility written all over it here. Carlton versus Port Adelaide. Roof on. See you quarter time.
Enormous amount at stake. We are getting to the sharp end of this season. Pitternet in. Works it to his feet, Drew. Went without it, Walsh didn't. First clearance, Blues. Inside 50 ball. And a hole to Bergman. Having a very good season. In comes Boak, unable to complete the mark. Hollands will get it back from Sard. Looks inboard. And that's okay.
So Drew's going to go with Cripps. It looks pretty clear early, right of screen there. You can see Drew on Patrick Cripps. Ball coming near them now. Willem Drew, there he is. 28, out the back door it comes. Houston. Creative way of keeping the ball in. Rioli had the back in. Did well. It's the one, the kick they've got to make, and he does not. Hollands immediately on the rebound. They get it to the middle of the ground. Cottrell going forward is Chera. Was wrong footed back to McGovern. Where's the lead? Here's Kerno. So Kerno from a comfortable range here. On this new strip of grass that's been laid straight down the middle.
Excellent from Hollands, knowing that Port Adelaide want to use the corridor, was switched on, was able to intercept it, and then just the movement there from Kerno. Was ducking out to the fat side of the ground, was able to change his angle. Great leaping tape.
Charlie Kerno closing in on another Coleman. Might be 3 in a row. Kicks the first goal of the game. Always lifts confidence of individual and team. Get the early one, particularly Kerno be feeling good about himself. See how easy he put that through, Brian? That went miles back. He's such a powerful leg, and that's the routine you want to see. Even when he is a little bit outside 50, he can make the distance easily. Yeah, you can see a Lear here, just trailing in Charlie Kerno, and straight line leads don't work a lot of the time. Defenders have got the pace, so just a bit of an angle on the lead there from Charlie, and a good start, a beautiful kick. Just what you want as a key forward, get yourself going early.
Sweet with the knee in, and then hunts at ground level. Hollands. The evergreen Boak. Well, not a great ball. They've popped it up a couple of times here. Early Port Adelaide start. Hollands misses Cripps with a handball. Cleverly to Ollie Hollands, then his brother to half forward, and he's on early. And he wants to go fast. Gets a good piece of it. Motlop tracks it back, and Bergman touches it through.
Yeah, we spoke about that before the game, Richard, but he was on target from about 65 then. Massive kick.
He's on early, and you've got Radicalea forward, so twice there it's been able to get to Kerno. Nobody's been able to chop it off. You can't beat him one-on-one, so you need support, and Lear needs that.
That was the Chin-Cotter Butters matchup.
He started on the half-back on BT and went to him after the first goal.
Bergman. Out wide, looking for just a modicum of safety. McGovern fighting hard. Georgiades his opponent. Hit the net, Walsh. Somehow got rid of it. Chin-Cotter exploring Wagner inside 50. At the back of Lear, spinning out beautifully.
And finds Georgiades. His kick a little hot for Butters. Chin-Cotter with him, a disco step. And then Burgoyne floats it inside 50. Dixon misjudging it in the air, and Kemp didn't. Walsh, all sorts of room at half-back. Points to half-forward. He's put it out in front of Aaliyah, but Curnow through the bounce was able to get to it. Now he's got a problem.
On the ball. Port Adelaide. Check to him, Charlie. Stand.
So he wanted him there to drop the ball and try and kick it. Made no attempt, and that's why he paid holding the ball. Hodgie, do you think it takes away from Aaliyah's intercept game, having him on Curnow?
Yeah, I think so. I prefer him to play on the smaller, let the smaller go up the field. Radaglia is playing forward. I'll put him back, put him onto Young, and let Aaliyah be able to just float across the back line.
Farrell forward, Dixon threw himself. Horn Francis there at the front and centre. Radaglia just went and mopped it all up. Rioli, little handball from Newman. Creative Chera. Rioli again. Burgoyne. Rosie. Little bit of slipping and sliding going on out there at the moment. Butters. Grubber. Not a lot of good skill on display right there and then. And kept alive, or is it? Zerk Thatcher, no, we'll throw it in, says umpire Mollison.
So, Richard, I'll be putting Zerk Thatcher to Curnow. I'll be putting Radaglia to Young, and then having Aaliyah be able to drop off the high half forward so we can float across and help.
Cripps, Walsh mown down.
I mean, since 2021, Aaliyah's averaged 8 intercept possessions. That's 4th in the comp in that whole time. And I just think on Curnow, you're not going to get that out of him.
Burnett did well. There is the matchup Richo speaking about. Not able to control it in the air, Aaliyah. Ball stays in. Motlop goes to ground. We're going to get a ball up.
Even the young fellow on the fence knows how to do the signal. Ball! He just gave him that little nudge before he got there. He used his body so well, Aaliyah. Just enough to put him off balance. Burgoyne's been pinned here, walking the ball across the line. Burgoyne looks at the big screen replay and shakes his head in disbelief. But he did Fogarty around the corner. 2 goals in a few minutes here. No, behind.
I guess, Richo, the concern with Zerk Thatcher on Curnow is the leg speed. Curnow is very powerful for a big fella. Zerk Thatcher probably...
He's more of a lockdown, though, Zerk Thatcher, than Aaliyah, I reckon. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out.
A great ball for Burgoyne to handle. Confronted by Curnow. He hacks it down the line. Chera picks it off. Ends up with Cottrell. Motlop at the back. Curnow off the ground. Works. Back to Cottrell. What's Matty Cottrell got from long range?
He's normally, I like Cottrell, pretty reliable sort of kick it. Goal normally.
Capable goal kicker.
Yeah.
Late for the season. Role player. Takes a man on the mark on with bravery. Then gets the handball to Hollins and gets it back. What a goal this is going to be. He just misses.
There's the Burgoyne replay. You just sort of got to stand there and wait almost for someone to take you across the line.
Run at pit net and we'll tackle you over the line.
Looking play. Beautiful mark by Radaglia. Strong overhead. Butters. Rioli.
Doesn't want to go long from here. They want to get it closer to about 60 before you go long.
Jones. Told to go by Nathan Williamson. Deep ball. Here's Dixon setting himself. Plenty of high flyers. Burgoyne. Hollins. Beautiful run-down tackle. Elijah Hollins got him. Would have run into a certain open goal.
I think Burgoyne thought he was all by himself. He took it very casually, took a little bit of look over the wrong shoulder, and then realised Holmes was on him. Great slide down.
They all got around him too. Certain goal-saving chase and tackle. Into a dangerous spot here. Rosie, boot to ball, and McGovern clean it up. Thumping long ball here for Motlop. Farrell made sure that he didn't take the mark and the ball came over the line and out of play. Both coaches coach from ground level, neither with a headset on at the moment anyway.
Time, stand, look out!
So Pitternet thumps a long one. Cripps. And over again.
Carlton #1 in the comp for contested footy and clearance, and already in this game they're getting an advantage there. Week.
Jules Cripps. Sweet. Wines. Kick not so good. Won beautifully though. Evans. Rosie. Back to Wines. Little on the handball. Not ideal. In the end, Mead. Back to Wines. Trying to pick the kick of Radicalia. He stopped at his run. And then went again. And it was enough just for his opponent to cannon into the back.
That was a good mark. He adjusted really well there, Asava Radicalia. I thought the kick was going to be a little bit too big for him. Good handball back there, relief a bit of pressure to Wines. He just had to hold up there, but his size just had too much size there.
39 career goals, but just one in the last 3 years as a result of where he's been playing. Here he is, a good 45 to 50 metres out. Radicalia, thumping ball, magnificent ball, goal number 40. Gee, a great connection with that footy. That's called perfection as far as timing goes. Spun beautifully, Radicalia.
Well, it looks like Ken was watching what North did last week with Compton, pushing him forward, being able to kick 3 goals, and Radicalaire's taken 2 strong contested marks already in the first quarter. Played a lot of footy in the forward line at Geelong.
Bit of craft there, pushed off and then had to change his lead a couple of times.
Dixon and Young go at it in the ruck. Here comes Wines. Big couple of minutes for him. Long ball forward again. Rioli ground level.
Yeah, good inside forward 50 tackling team, Port Adelaide. They're first and second in the comp, these two teams. Good pressure on inside 50.
Flicked out by Charlie. Burne-Jones trying to muscle it out of there. Cripps to some green grass. Horn Francis. Now Houston. And Burne-Jones takes the mark. Wants to go fast, and there's Georgiades.
So this is a tough shot there. 18th in accuracy, Port, because they do get shots from these sort of positions out wide, a lot of their entries.
Going to take a very good kick from here, as you can see, outside the field of play. And that is a very good kick. How good was that? Brilliantly done, Mitch Georgiades. Port get their second.
You know, you knew it was a goal, JB, because it was definitely silent.
Yeah, especially from that end of the ground. Not a word was being said.
Love the intent by Sard there, but you can't go flying past. You've got to take the ball or the body and hold up, push Burn Jones back because he had no pressure on him, was able to find Georgiades. And then, as you said, Richo, as soon as you...
Well, that's... Port fans will be happy. Georgiades there, of course, his dad on debut, kicked 8 against the Blues. It was Dixon, firing handball out of there. Young battling on. Rosie, bit of a no-looker. Burgoyne. Swift ball inside. Rioli in the one-on-one with Carlton. Wanted the hold.
I don't reckon that'll ever happen again, BT. Someone kicking 8 on the boot. You just can't see it these days, can you?
No.
Some time in forward half here for Port Adelaide. It's been a good 5 minutes. Rosie flicks it over his head. Horne-Francis distributes, winds. Hollins comes in, but a holding free.
Last person to kick 8 on debut was Scotty Cummings 30 years ago.
Of course, the big one, Coleman kicked 12. Fair start.
You barely see anyone kick 8 full stop.
Yeah, not true.
Let alone in their first game. The goal kicking landscape has changed enormously. Chera. Almost Curnow. Winds. Boak. Walks a fine line. This could work. Georgiades, the bounce just no good for him. Wiedering back to Chera. And a bit more control, although Horne-Francis came late. Turnover. High in the Radagalier direction. One out. Wiedering arrived late. Look out. Rioli here. Burgoyne. Touch ball. Cowan's got to be very careful. Cottrell taking the ground. Thanks, Matt.
Great defensive work there from Horne-Francis. Just got the hand in, kept the ball in the forward half. Sometimes he gets a bit of a whack for his defensive work. He's excellent there.
Jordan, boys.
With a dead arm there, but looks. Shearer.
You, mate, you. I'm here.
He actually got on the end of Hewitt.
Touch the ball!
Ball was clear. Owies not perturbed by that. Presenting Cripps, Newman there. Magnificent Cripps. And got caught in the end. Don't reckon he made contact with the handball. Umpire must have thought he did. Newman's kick. Not where it should have been. Zerk Thatcher was there. Picked off here by Evans. Nothing down the line. And now an opportunity here for Kennedy.
This hack's a long one. Always couldn't hang on. Zerk Thatcher. Bergman. Evans. Right start to his career. Mead. Misses with the kick again. Boak. Aaliyah. Rioli with some room to move. Georgiades. Back to Rioli. Jones comes at the kicker. Couldn't hang on. It's all just a little untidy. Kemp. Cowan. And that's out on the full.
Outside 5. Play on. Play on.
Logan Evans told to go. He unloads. Long. Sweet. Trying to get in the right position here. Come for the end by Hollins was there. There's another. Ollie. Get back inside. Motlop. The run by Hewitt. The spin impressive. Motlop. Kennedy. Little left footer. Beautiful. Owies wants to go from 50. Open goal square. Needs a good hit on the ground. Didn't get it. Had backspin on it. Came back to Aaliyah.
Guys, David Cunningham's come from the ground and gone straight down to the rooms. This left shoulder looked a little out of place, looked like it was dislocated as he was running down with the doctor, and he has had shoulder injuries in the past. He missed the start of last season after that incident where he was wrestling in the gym and suffered that shoulder injury, so I'll keep an eye on it.
Thanks, Abby. Farrell a long one. Hitting the head, pin and head, I reckon. Drew hasn't gone far enough. Sweet just bashes it forward. Wines. Dixon went without it. Cowan was good, as was Cripps. Elijah Hollins. Long lead here from Kerno. Kick just not quite elevated enough for Owies. Farrell was good enough to pick it off. Fast to Burgoyne.
Drew wants to go back to Burgoyne. Evans down the line here. Radaglia, Horn Francis, McGovern. McGovern ball.
Come back on. Stand.
Newman.
Stand up.
McGovern. You almost missed that, I reckon. Picked up in the end by Evans. Wines had plenty of the football early in this game. Burn Jones. He could have given the handball then. Had to go out at camp and picked it up beautifully on the half volley. Kick not so good. It's going to come back with a little bit of interest. Here is Houston looking for Dixon. Dixon won't get there in front of Cowan. Cowan, too much athleticism. Did it well to Owies.
Zerk Thatcher across the face of that.
This is where Owies just needs to have a little bit more composure. You've got a bit of a rush of blood. Let your forwards do the work. He blazes away goal. Kerno's got the whole pocket there for him to hit him up and have a set shot. Take your breath when you get those marks, 50 to 60 out.
Butters, Chincotta with him. Expect a lot of that tonight.
Only 3 touches so far for Butters, but Port are going really well around the footy at the moment. Carlton early were better. Port have evened it right up. Another clearance.
Floating ball from Vogue. McGovern did a good job. Fogarty. And they go all the way back and reset through Ollie Hollins. To Chera.
Outside 5. Outside 5. Play on.
You've got a long down the line option. That's where the kick goes. Pitnet comes in and does well.
They're just on those clearances. It's 7-2 to Port the last 15 minutes, and Butters hasn't touched it in that time, so it's not hurting.
Great kick from Pitnet, finds Kennedy. Does he have a dash at this? Or
This is where Big Harry's missed.
the set-up kick, it's the ladder. Kerno. Bergman taken out of play.
You haven't been able to get anything out of Lewis Young yet. He hasn't touched the ball. So it's all Kerno at the moment. The only time they've marked it forward is Owies marked 1 on the lead, but the other sort of marks 4 to 50 have been all Kerno, really.
Sweet wanting the front position here. Finds it. Knocks at his feet. Drew. Knocked away from Evans. Shearer. Hollins.
And he's a good starter normally, Big H. Not out there tonight, but have a look at that this year. 15 goals in first quarters for Harry
Here, guys.
Nakai.
Jack Carroll, the sub. Pitnet at the back. Handball by Boak. Drew's able to sneak it through to Mead. Horn Francis through the middle of the ground. They build. Radaglia makes contact, gets rid of his man for a second. It was magnificent forward graft on Kemp. Just a little body push and then go. Superb.
Exceptional kick from Horn Francis as well. Didn't try and pierce the ball in. He just let him. He just sat it up there. Let Radaglia, as you said, BT, do the body work. Put the forward craft in. Great connection.
Made really good contact with his last set shot. This one just a touch closer. Sava Radaglia here for his second goal of the quarter to make it 3 straight for Port Adelaide. 45-metre kick, this time across the face.
He's showing really good forward craft, BT.
Yep.
So far tonight, he's enjoying
Probably a bit of a pressure valve release in his head too.
I'm impressed with that early contact. While the ball's in mid-air, he's got the confidence to go back, make contact, and then push off.
He timed it absolutely perfectly, so showing that he knows how to play forward.
Holding. Carlton. Holding for straight. From Aaliyah to Young with a beautiful ball. Stand. Play on. To a dangerous spot. Walsh. Kerno. Evans able to be in the right spot at the right time, Abby.
Yeah, Blues have made their sub, guys. So David Cunningham out with that left shoulder injury. Jack Carroll coming straight in.
Thanks, Abs.
Iffy kick back inside. Radagalia. Kemp, lovely give to Walsh. Walsh got to find someone inside and getting back Bergman in front of Cripps. It was well done. Nicely measured. Inside ball to Francis Evans.
Horn Francis is out.
Away goes Rosie. Worrying here for Wiedering because we know Horn Francis has got exceptional wheels. Wiedering gets the better of it. Young's got to compete in the air. And Jones.
Well done, Wiedering. Under the pump there, Horn Francis, you could see the speed that he had catching Wiedering, but then the composure to pick the ball up. Fake it, he was going back into the corridor, lose Horn Francis and get a kick down to the wing. Great defending.
4-2 at Marvel this year, the Blues. Mind you, Port love it here as well. 10-1 here over the past 5 seasons. What they like about this ground. Fogarty, high ball, Aaliyah and Kerno. Contact out the back. Houston. From Zerk Thatcher. Bergman. Just under a minute remaining here in the quarter.
Farrell. Rosie.
Play on.
Good uncontested marking room here at the moment. Port Adelaide Footy Club, Evans. Contact from Hewitt.
Play on.
Corridor ball. Just works.
Patrick, 2 metres. Stand.
Big Carlton house not happy. Penetrating ball. Georgiades. Vossi can't believe it.
That's 5 marks inside forward 50. Couple for Georgiades, a couple for Radagalia.
This will be the first time since round 7 the Blues have trailed at quarter time. Fast starting team. Already kicked one cracker, Mitch Georgiades. This one from virtually directly in front. Can't believe it. 4-point lead, Port Adelaide, quarter time, Friday night football.
All right, there we go. There we go, folks. Port Adelaide for the victory tonight, says Addy G. Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. E.T., how you going, Squire? Paul, good stuff. Back from his trip. Lucky man. Hey, Dave in the house. Got to love Thailand. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Ryan, g'day, mate. Yeah, you got our rain. We got your sunshine. It's a nice change to have. And, of course, Nate was in there with Chef Fine earlier. Good on you. Thanks for coming in. I don't know, you could be right. I think Port Adelaide's actually got a pretty good record at Marvel Stadium. Now, Carlton came out of the blocks hard in this game to begin with. Charlie Curnow banged on a quick goal. They've had a few opportunities, Carlton, but ever since then, Carlton had the run early. Looked like Port Adelaide were chasing, but then Port Adelaide quickly stemmed that tide and became the hunter. Turned it all around. Pressure. Pretty good game of the pressure. There were the lineups. You know, Harry Mackay was out, was a late out for this game. So that's why there's no Harry Mackay in there for the Blues. Elijah Holland's going all right, though, for the Blue Baggers. 11 disposals, 7 kicks, 4 handballs, 2 marks, 2 tackles. Adam Kera with 10, not bad. Ollie Wines with 9, with Burgoyne, not doing too bad. Tell you what, who's the player I'll get down to? Paddy Cripps isn't going too bad also with his 7. Just having a look at the disposals for the first quarter. Before, just heard 10 wins, 1 loss. Last 5 years, Port at Marvel. I'll tell you what, Port Adelaide, Carlton went into this game favourite. I forget the price they went in, about $1.57 or something. I think Port was about $2.40. Wouldn't mind the cash on Port, especially with Harry Mackay out. But then again, I thought with Harry out, it might have been not a bad job, giving Charlie the run in the forward line. I said he opened up the game quick early goal. He had 6 touches, of course 6 kicks, of course no handballs for Charlie Curnow. 3 marks, 2 tackles. He's going pretty good. Ratugolea, that's the one. Ratugolea. Tell you what, I think Kemp's playing on him. There's a big mismatch. Ratugolea is just a big, strong man. He's winning that duel down forward there for Port Adelaide. They may need to make a change there, or else things could get out of hand. He gets his kick and boot on. He's had 5, 2 kicks. He's kicked 1-1, 100% strike rate. For scored 2 kicks, he's had 3 marks, 3 handballs. He's had a clearance also. Let's go down the board a little bit. Have a quick look at your other players. There you go. Charlie Dixon, a little bit quiet, 4. He hasn't had an opportunity yet. Motlop's quiet. Zach Butters, quiet first opening quarter from him, from the Port Adelaide star. He needs to lift. There we go. And that's what we've got there. Let me just scroll this back up. As I said, we've only had 3 goals in the opening quarter. Ratugolea, Georgiadis for Port Adelaide, and Cherney and Charlie Curnow with the first there for the Blue Baggers. Let me just put that back there. Quick look at the stats. As we can see, pretty even, 98, 105 in the disposals. Kicks pretty much the same with the handballs. Inside 50s, they're getting plenty of ball in there. It's a free-flowing game. There's plenty of run in their legs at the moment. 74, 71 efficiency. A little bit down there, the Blues, 33 inside 50 for the percentage. Efficiency, 46, a bit better Port Adelaide. 5-4 on the free kicks. Nothing much, to say about them. Yeah, they were probably there. Hit-outs, pretty even around the ground. Centre clearances, Port Adelaide on top there. Paddy Cripps needs to get on his bike. They've only had the 1. Contested, pretty much the same. Turnovers, 23 to Port Adelaide. Carlton put on all that pressure early. The marks, Port by 7. Inside 50 marks, and they're finding their target a bit better. Port Adelaide, mind you, there's not too much space down the forward line for either team, although Port Adelaide have found space in their forward line. As I said, Ratugolea, he's a big man. It's a good contest against Kemp, which he's winning thoroughly there. Contested marks, 1-2, Port Adelaide's favour. Both tackling all right, not too bad, 19-16. Inside 50 tackles, both pretty good, 3 apiece, right on the yearly average. Let me just scroll that back up, put it back there, put that back here. Now, as we just have a look at this, this is the live ladder. This is the live ladder, Addy G. Ryan, Shea Herrera, mega love shout out, welcome, good evening. How you going? So this is what happens if the game stops right now. Because Port Adelaide are in front, they would actually jump to 3rd position on 48. Now, if we turn the live ladder off, this is where they actually sit before the result. 7th, Port Adelaide, Carlton 2nd. Turn that live ladder back on, Carlton still 2nd, Port Adelaide 3rd. There's Fremantle there in 5th. Fremantle. Can they win on the weekend? Big game coming up for them. Anyway, there we go. We're about to get started for the second quarter, so I'll take you back to the commentators. Oh no, Freo outside the top 4 live. Yeah, I know. All right, let's head back to the commentators as we get ready for the bounce, the second quarter.
Points, there's the Drew Cripps matchup. Hasn't quite cut loose yet, see you at halftime.
That's right, they do need to kick some goals, the Blues. As Hewitt gets out of a tackle, tumbles it forward. Almost Curnow. And now, held up ball.
Jordan. Back this way.
Burgoyne. With Mackay out, Richo, the Blues could do with a bit of Favola. Look at this, Hodgie.
That there, Horn Francis, got to be firmer than that. We praised him earlier when he did some defensive things, but you can't get brushed away at the start of a quarter. Should be fresh, should be pinning those tackles.
Hitting that. He's got time to use his feet to do the ruck work. Happening hard though, underneath all of that.
Put Adelaide. Go through.
I thought it was more under Wines than it was under Pitnet.
Stand.
I can't believe it. I don't think he had it. No. Wines was shocked as well. Nice hands by Sweet here.
Stand.
They're not normally a long down the line team, but he has to go this time.
Very high footy. Radically arriving late with a thump. Walsh with a little banana around the corner, a bit heavy. Curnow, bit of a bounce. There they go, the Blues. Open ground. Kennedy can nearly go all the way. And he gets the first of the second. No panic. Good composure by those two.
That was a kick from Walsh. That's Zirk Thatcher there. Got to keep the ball in front of you. You can't let it get out the back. Curnow too easy onto Kennedy. With those contests are the ones you need as a defender. Keep the ball in front.
He just totally misread it in the air there, Zirk Thatcher. Didn't really need to jump into his opponent.
Seemed like he was too worried about his man rather than just back himself judging the
Could have
ball.
marked the ball almost.
Cripps, almost a handoff to Hewitt. It spins out of the tackle.
Ball. Stand. Time back on. Stand.
Stuck. Good result though for Sweet. Hand off here, Farrell. Beautiful left footer, we know. Long, deep entry, and Georgiades, the only player that ever looked like Markey.
And he's the guy, Farrell, that you want kicking it inside 50. One of the best inside 50 kicks in the competition. And that just got extra distance. Got over the back. Georgiades, he's putting together a good night so far. He's the one. He's the hot forward down there. McGovern just got caught looking at him.
Just a very gettable one on the quarter-time siren. He ain't missing this. Response there from Port Adelaide. Second of the night for Mitch Georgiades. Looks in good marking form.
Firstly, a great kick from Farrell, but McGovern just lost contact here with Georgiades. And as a forward, when the defender starts looking at you there and has no idea at all where the ball is, you know you're in the box seat. He loved that, Georgiades. But Farrell as well, just a beautiful long kick.
Hit net, magnificent to Walsh. His handball not so. Mead was able to pick it off. Now Drew, once again a long, deep, quick ball. Dixon goes over in the battle with Wiedering. Good job from Wiedering. Now Kemp. Down the line, Aaliyah should gobble this up. Curnow got there late. Kennedy to Hollands. Little one to Cripps.
vision from Hollands.
Well done, Curnow. He didn't give up on that, and he forced the spoil on Aaliyah.
Ball here, Young gets it all the way to the back, and it's a free kick.
Carlton.
Gee, that's unnecessary. They had great coverage there, Port Adelaide.
Lewis Young.
I made it.
Only kicked 2 career goals, none this season.
Once again,
Preoccupied
with his opponent. There's times you need to initiate body contact as a defender, but there's times you've got to get in the right position and back yourself. He's got to disrupt the run. You don't have to put a formal bump on.
Goals hard to come by in the first term for the Blues. They've got 2 early ones here. Brought into the side with Mackay coming out. Nice moment.
He's going to himself. Is this what it feels like? Look at him. Can't believe himself. Gee, this feels good, he knows. This is better than the spoiling fist in defence, kicking a goal.
This is where Zerk just has to engage with his opponent, puts on a full-on bump, doesn't compete for the ball. It's clear there for the umpire. That's twice. The last 2 times they've gone forward, he's been more preoccupied with his opponent than actually backing himself and going for the ball.
Game 64, his last goal come in game 28, and he looked like he surprised himself and loved every moment of that.
He said, had a routine, BT.
Yeah, he said, how easy is this playing up forward? And gee, you actually get some reward. Here's Wiedering, trying to keep it alive, waiting for support. Saad with a little knockdown smother. Dixon in there with the one hand. Walsh fed it to Wiedering along the boundary line. Ollie's on his tail. Jones got it to Boat. Boat goes inside, exploring. Radagalia in the air, free kick. It'll go the way of Carlton.
Back here, back to the 9.
Now,
Willie, back to 9. Stand.
Drew nicely to Jones. Touch ball. Players haven't realised that. Cowan gets it held in.
It was touched from back there. Yeah, I was trying. Coming out here. Putting up. Jordan.
Sweet. Rosie outside of the boot. Radaglia almost. Bouncing ball, Mead.
Hit the flags.
And it's hit the post.
Chinkotter's doing a great job on Zach Butters. Only 1 kick since the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. So that's a big win for Carlton so far.
Gavin to Newman. 50 to go with it. This is the ball hitting the flags that Hodgie is alluding to. Of course, we all know that the flags are part of the post.
Outside line.
You'd certainly flat with that.
Surely you're going to have it tucked in better, Brian.
Technically, it's gone over the line and hit the flags behind the line. You could argue that, Richo, but good luck.
Got to have a better holder for them.
There's Walsh. Some sort of cavity. Newman. What a beautiful stroke. Nice little cavity grooved down.
I'm serious. It couldn't be that hard, could it?
It couldn't be, but if we did everything that popped up in footy, Richo, we'd be quite an amazing squad.
Well, they're behind the post. That's a better
They
spot.
are. So
it's crossed
but
the
that's
line.
where the other one was. It was actually crossed the line and hit the flags over the line.
No, but they're part of the post. So
Jones.
Seems common sense for me.
Well, there's something
It's not
someone
too
can
common,
invent, a decent holder for the flags.
Almost. Newman.
going to get his top ribbon.
Potter on the up. Some good pressure here from Port Adelaide. Willie Rioli. Out is Dixon. Beautifully done.
Stand on.
And Mead. To give Port Adelaide back the lead. Doesn't get the elevation.
That's why you have someone on the line, just in case they don't get all of it. Just caught it too skinny. Elijah Hollins. Back into Ollie Hollins. Inching their way forward. Kemp. Hollins. Nice ball. Hewitt back on to pick it up. Little handball deliberately along the ground. Lost track of what he was doing there, the sub. Carroll in the end. Chincotta came through. He was immediately tackled. Advantage. Port Adelaide's advantage. There goes Radagalea. What a tackle in the middle of the ground. That was from Newman. Sensational stuff.
Line. Spreads it wide here. Into the hands of Jack Carroll. Zed Fetcher better this time. No block. It's going to Curnow. Just got away with that too. The ball not handed back on the full.
Supposed to go on the full, JB.
So he had a good look pre-game, Richo, at Charlie from this distance.
Yeah, well, he's just going to go back and do his normal routine here. Look, the distance is not an issue. He's got such a powerful leg.
Routine, Richo, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Kick the first of the game. Look at that. Right through. Magnificent. Such a superb athlete. Brilliant set shot from long range.
Richo, you spoke about this component with Charlie Curnow before the game.
Yeah, I just think that power that he has, he doesn't need to rush it, Brian, and that he couldn't rush that one because it was a free kick and had to get the ball back to him. So he went back, deep breath, normal routine, and look how easily he got there. Yeah, he ran out to the side a little bit.
So you'd say he doesn't need to wheel and go?
Not all the time. I mean, sometimes it's on, but I just think when he does that, the power's there, he can kick those.
Butters to Boak. Another clearance here for Port. The long ball in from Boaksard, got a claw on it. Radagalea keeps the arms free. Mead, Horn Francis, had a little peek. His ball was smothered mid-air. Newman to Sard. Can they go on the counter-attack here? Out wide it is Carroll. Carroll high ball over the top of Kennedy and Alia.
We're going just. Burton. Belts a long one. Georgiades at the back. Dangerous here. And another miss. This time it's Frankie Evans.
Being told to go that away. Curnow will get the through here. I said a block on Alia, by Alia. No, gee, funny kick in the end. He was caught in a couple of minds. Now Cottrell's got it all to do. Boat just shoves him out of the way. Cottrell's going to have to work hard here. Chera came in, got one high. Saves the day, Chera at half back. Curnow will get another go at it. 200 goals since the start of 2022. Charlie Curnow, outstanding performance. He's heading for 3 Colemans in a row, something that hasn't been done since Gary Ablett Senior did it.
This game,
Curno's kicked the 2 goals, but he's been everywhere. His work rate to get up the ground, compete up there. So there, BT, 200 since 2022.
Yeah, it's good effort.
So consistent.
Goal. Francis trying to take the tackle on him.
Lockie, Fogarty,
You're not getting through.
Straight for Lockie.
Paddy Cripps.
Stand.
Fogarty was the first tackler. What a short target, too easy. Paddy Cottrell.
Gee, they had 14 players inside their defensive 50 there, Port Adelaide. 14. Should never allow another mark in that.
I don't think Fogarty could believe it, Richo.
Yeah.
Stood there staring at him going, you can't be that open.
And that's just a case of having all those numbers back and just guarding grass.
For their 4th of the quarter. Coming back nicely. 3 in a row Blues. Blues finding it hard to miss at one end. And Port Adelaide missing everything at the other end.
There's Cottrell just sitting in the middle of 4 or 5. Port Adelaide, once they got their man, they're just happy, they're content, they're not turning around, they're not pointing. Lokiel's in line of the leader. There needs to be more voice, more direction for defenders.
This is a man that's only had 6 birthdays despite being 24 years of age. Work that out, Richo.
I know.
He's only had 6 times to get a present, Richo. Work it out. Born on a leap day, 29th of Feb 2000. 6 birthdays, 24 years of age. King Connor with the free out of the middle. Carlton goes searching again. Curnow was there early. Lear was spoiling his own man in Bergman. Little handball ends up with Kennedy. He's already got one. He would have souped up. No presents on all the other times.
I tell you what, you've got to have a good party when it does come around. So does he get a 40th and a 50th and a 60th? You just go the 28th, don't you?
Got to wait until he turns 84 before he has a 21st, Richard.
You quiet old 21st, Ken.
Thought about claiming it and Sard controlled it nicely at ground level. Cowan. Having a nice little 5 or 6 minutes here, the Blues. Walsh. That's straight into the arms of Logan Evans. Handball from Wines, not a great one. Coming forward to defend there was Hewitt. In fact, it was Newman. Kemp. Evans got a hold of him. Still numbers here with the Blues. Motlop. Long in the Curnow direction. And he gets a free.
Contact! Carlton!
He had the mismatch. He had Bergman. And Bergman panicked. You can't have that happening. The re-entry catching him out there.
Guys, Jack, Alex, clear out.
So it's 9-8 inside 50s Carlton's way in this term. But this to make it a 5-goal-1. Second quarter. Charlie now has 3. Put the foot down here, the Blues. The Blues score more here at Marvel than any other team in football.
Beautiful bounce by Nathan Wibbs in the middle. the recipient. Carlton on a roll here. Bergman with the spoil. Fogarty. Chera. Around the corner carefully. Owies. Bergman defends. Really good crowd in on a Friday night here. Blues home game, obviously. Good net. Took it, now you need to get rid of it. Umpire. So umpire Dorr, who by the way is umpiring his 100th game tonight. Congratulations to him, JB.
Yep, absolutely. Burgoyne, almost Cottrell, off the ground Walsh. Jones missing the handball with Wines. Rosie's got to go and get it. And he tried a little shaky move. And McGovern buried him. Look at this. Little, oh, there we go. Bang. The turn upfield that wasn't in the end going to work for him, Richard.
Yeah, he didn't know it was coming. Great tackle. He still can lay a big tackle in this game.
Cripps. Butters need to get him involved.
He's just so disciplined, Chincotta. So hard to get away from.
Radigalia. McGovern absorbing the Wines tackle.
That's such a great thing, Hodgie, for Michael Voss to have every week. Just knowing that he's probably going to at least nullify each week the whoever role that he gets.
And he can do it from the midfield, can do it as a half forward. So he started the game on the half-back flank.
Butters through traffic. Nice ball, high ball. Getting back was Kemp. Funny kick. Out of bounds. Head to the ground, but I think it had absolutely nothing to do with the tackle. It was more about McGovern resting it on the ground or placing it on the ground.
I thought Wines sort of laid him down really well there. That's really careful. That's what the AFL wants.
Was indeed, but how it can look from an umpire's point of view, Richo. Players exaggerated. Here is Motlop now. Looking to get it out over the top. Bergman's got it all to do. Couldn't keep his feet. Oh, he's caught. That was the difference. Five in a row for the Blues. All of a sudden a 25-point margin.
This was a tough one for Bergman. He had to make a decision, and that little nudge there from Owies just got him under the ball enough for him to fingertip that mark a bit. I think he looked around wanting a free kick. It was just that one there. He was going to ground. He just had to hold that mark. If not, it was always going to be a goal to Owies.
5 on the bounce for the Blues. This is a statement from them. Paul Francis dragged that back in.
The only decision Bergman could have made there was just try to punch that backwards out of bounds. Because once he went to ground, he was done.
15 as you heard, so Boak's got to come in and impact. Nice handball out in front of Horn Francis. Sard came at him. Houston over the top. Wines. Back to Houston. Burne-Jones. Boak. They did that very well, Port Adelaide. Centering ball here. Carroll came in. Cowley. Wiedering.
Cottrell wanted it short. Wiedering wanted nothing of it. Wanted to just slow things down a little bit here. Puts it down towards the wing. Out the back it comes. Owies again. Can he keep it rolling? No, he cannot. throw in here. So 4:40 remaining. Been a big quarter so far for the Blues. Kicked 6 goals in it. Lead it by 25. Starting to build here. Good momentum for Carlton. Chincotta and Butters still go at it. We'll do it again. Happy 75th birthday today to two-time premiership player Trevor Keogh, one of the greats of the Carlton Football Club in the 70s. 75 today.
He's had a few back then, BT.
Yeah, great teams they were in the 70s.
Powerhouse, especially late.
Absolutely they were.
Enjoyed themselves too, those boys.
Oh yeah, did they ever.
Bennett dribbles one to half forward. Zerk Thatcher speculates over the head with the handball. Mead off the ground. Rosie
Used to spend a fair bit of time down at Norton's there on Royal Parade, just debriefing the games. The Carlton boys.
Lygon Street afterwards.
Yeah. That's where Sticks famously had a little sing-along.
Wonderful footy team. Great eras. This is Port Adelaide, by the way, both SANFL and AFL. There's a long one here from Walsh. Curnow with a hand in. Kennedy out the back. Centering ball in for Motlop. Beautifully done.
That was outstanding from Kennedy. Great team play. Put the ball into a perfect position. And he's making the most. Motlop back into the team. Kicked the 3 goals last week. A good time to come back in and get into form. Finals only a bit over a month away. You can keep your spot.
This for 6 in a row and a 31-point lead. In the blink of an eye. And a little celebration too from Jesse. Interesting watching Charlie Curnow kick that last one, the set shot. No celebration at all. That's unheard of in the modern game.
Goals, 7th time this year they've had a 7-goal quarter, the Blues. Richo, who's someone like Motlop competing against to hold his position in the Carlton lineup?
Well, he's come back in, obviously, and they've got a few small forwards, and the ones that are out there tonight, he's Fogarty puts the pressure on, and he's a goal kicker, Motlop, so he's stamping himself as a player that can go in and play finals, I reckon.
The numbers here, JB, it's actually the 8th time this year they've kicked 7 goals in a quarter, Carlton. So
they're all a little bit different, those 3 smalls, Brian.
Yep.
So they're
happy to play them all in every game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Grips. So there's no one in danger of missing out as a result of Motlop's inclusion. That's what I'm getting at.
Durden went out, Brian, so I guess there's the 4 there at 3 and 4 perhaps there.
Eventually got there. A little one here, tackled by Newman.
It's in the back. Advantage.
Advantage paid. Houston, a little chip at a Boak. Boak over the top. Kick needs to be spot on. Georgiades presses to the ground. Picked up by Evans. And he misses. Did he pay the advantage? It's a free kick, Georgiades, or a mark?
Yeah, front on.
No infringement. Front on contact.
I got it.
So Georgiades against Cowan. Will line up for his 3rd goal.
Nick!
If successful, will have kicked Port's last 3 goals. It's Georgiades here. Not that far off kicking 100 goals in his career. I think he's on 97 at the moment. His kick only at 25 to 30 metres. Pretty straight. That's beautiful. Well done by Georgiades. He has 3.
It's just a perfectly weighted kick there for a bloke. That's a part of the game they've struggled with in the second quarter. They've had 11 inside 50s. That was just their second goal. Bit of a clip on the back of the head, but Georgiades just a beautiful set shot at goal. He kicked the tough one in the first quarter on the boundary, and that one there never looked like missing.
That's favoured pin in there. Dumped by Cripps. Well done, Jones. And saving mark. Short there to Rosie, just the distance. And now Wines. Very stagnant. Forward of the ball, so Aaliyah. Jones sat and waited, got to him just. Drew. Have to eventually go long. And easily done, Kemp. Ordinary handball. And Evans comes in and holds it up.
Just under a minute
Come
remaining.
here, Mark. Jordan.
Sweet to Rosie. And Francis there as well. So Rangers had 18 touches. 15 touches for Sam Walsh, the respective leaders.
As we expect, Port Francis to get on the move, use his speed, get through the stoppage.
Sweet to knock it forward. A bit of uncertainty there amongst the Blues. So kind of had to go. Holland will be hustled here. So still plenty of time.
Here. Jordan, Mark, here.
Mollison. Hitnet's been held.
Down around the block. Stand. Here. Nick. Nick.
Lila Green. Curno, always, you can see him in the bottom of the picture there, always late in quarters when they're under threat. Dropping back as the extra Hodgie. He's deep there now. Here he comes. He could affect this, although a little bit short. A good mark is taken by McGovern. Is that something that he does automatically?
Yeah, no, with 2 minutes to go, he normally sits behind the play, especially after having such a dominant quarter.
Welcome back, Friday Night Footy on Fox, brought to you by Industry Super Funds. When it comes to super, there's only one symbol to look for. Pretty good, the Blue Baggers. They've got some very impressive numbers that we'll go through. Charlie Curnow, dominant player on the ground. Sam Walsh getting clear of the footy. Ollie Wine started well. Started on the bench. Not sure he's that impressed, but started to find a fair bit of the footy as the game wore on. And the Blues seem to have it pretty much in control. Late goal there to Georgiades. Just brings them back close enough. They can move the footy, but we'll talk about that as we get rolling. John Brown, Tom Hawkins and Jordan Lewis. First thoughts, boys?
Yeah, did a good job, Carlton, to be that far in front of the scorebook. So I've been around stoppage, but didn't necessarily lead to territory problems. They had a lot of forward half turnovers, so they were good, the Baggers.
Yeah, for me, it was Charlie Curnow. Just the work rate of him up and down the ground. Even we saw there late, getting out and helping your defence. He's looking very dangerous ahead of the ball. He forced them to panic, didn't he? I mean, there was probably 3 or 4 free kicks that Charlie got because of the movement and the panic.
Like the matchup? Is there Harvey Norman highlights? Let's have a look at him and you can tell me about it. He's the number one player on the ground, there's no question, number one target. So all that's obvious. Harry Mackay played out if you're just joining us.
This is his highest rated half of football for the year. So he is, you said it at quarter time, he has looked ominous. I don't think it is. I think Aaliyah is more that zone-off type of defender. We understand why they've probably made the decisions on the back of Curnow, but I mean, Tom's better to talk about this sort of position than me, but he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he has been. Look, I think he's the sort of player that commands different opponents throughout the game. I think you're obviously going to have one direct opponent for a long period of the time, but you need help, whether that's Zerk Thatcher, Miles Bergman or Aaliyah. You just need help with players like Charlie, who are just so good in the air and at ground level.
He took his time with that long set shot. We spoke about a pre-game where his accuracy drops right off the right off the sheet, outside 40, but that was a fantastic kick, but he slowed it down.
Yeah, he did. What would please Carlton most is their ability to score off turnover. It's been so profound, and it's been as good as they've been in this area for a long, long time, and just putting pressure on, win the ball back, and then being able to score. They've had 15 forward half turnovers, which is as good as they've had all year. Round one is the only other time they've had numbers like this.
Well, guys, they're rated 16th in the comp for forward half turnovers, so it's a big. They only average 19 for a game. Fantastic. 5 goals that quarter, all from turnover.
Yeah, 3 goals from forward half turnover. So it's a beautiful look when you got this sort of pressure on. When they got through, they moved the footy okay from D50 to the 50-metre arc, but from deep in the back up, football couldn't move at all.
I think we spoke about pre-game the small forwards from Carlton. It was a lot of the work that they were doing inside the forward 50. I think if you recognise Carlton's game and how they look, it's those small forwards up and between the arcs, and when they do turn the ball over, going with speed, and they've found it really hard to defend. But it's a big win.
That number right there would be putting a smile on everyone. I think they're number 2 for the year, but the last 6 weeks, when you want to start getting it right as they head towards September, that is a beautiful number. What do you got for us, Big Fella?
Well, it's just a watch for Carlton. Certainly Port Adelaide were able to move the ball from half-back. Carlton have been nearly the worst. This is the Zero Lab. Carlton have been nearly the worst team in the comp the last 2 years, guys. They're being able to defend the opposition's ball movement from half-back. Or from their half-forward line, of course. So just need to tidy this up. They haven't been hurt tonight because we saw him hit the flag of the goal stick, one end, and then another easy miss. So Port haven't capitalised on this. But it's an area that Carlton needs to tidy up in their game, no question about it.
It's just a little warning sign while they've got everything else going.
Yeah.
It's a watch. If they kick 1 goal, 3. If they kick 3 goals, 1, we might be a little bit more concerned.
Which is funny, isn't it, guys? Because they're very good when teams move from the defensive 50, so only 30 or 40 metres back. So they just need to fix up that area.
This is easy, miss.
Yeah, look at that.
You run that in, maybe you thought he was hot. They have peaked it back. I think at quarter time was about 38%, so now it's about 21%. But they've left some on the table.
That number there.
That's good. That was up to 55% until late. Yeah. So they've just got to fix it up because the better teams are mid-30s.
Yeah, well, they didn't connect quite as well as they should have, Tommy. Early on the piece, Savarateglia looked like you. Maybe he was going that well.
Well, there was some moves that I thought ahead of the footy that he was actually, that we'd worked on a lot in our time together at Geelong. I think also the strength of Asava's game is his ability to be able to compete down the line. We've seen him take a couple of nice marks, and it was the footwork before he took this mark that I really liked. That he was able to move the footy when he was on the traffic line, move across the ground, and then lead up at the ball carrier. That was so impressive. I thought he lost that out of his game, but that's just nice forward craft ahead of the football.
So, I mean, Charlie Dixon's career's coming to an end, whether it's this year, next year, or the year after. Can he play centre forward? Can he take the Charlie Dixon role, do you think?
Yeah, I really like him down back, to be completely honest. I think he's, when he played forward at Geelong, he also had stints in the ruck, which allowed him to be in and around the game. But I think he's probably suited from what I see with his speed and strength. Maybe they have a touch too many tall defenders down there. But certainly the shift forward has been good for him tonight.
Down the category, a touch too many key forwards.
Where does he fit in down? Where does he fit in down the forward line down
Port
there?
Adelaide, being up my handy bucks. The Croy Flyer's gone to Patrick Cripps and has done a pretty good job. He's 100th game, Willem Drew. Yeah. So I think you'd take this. The score involvements there are the ones that draws my eye. Yeah. Now, you haven't got Patrick Cripps beaten. By no means is that a bad game from Patrick, but he can rip this as he did the last time they played. So interesting matchup, and we'll see how that unfolds.
He's got the body shape, hasn't he? He's got the strength and the size to compete with the Patrick Cripps, and not many players do.
And he's got an attitude that says that he wants to do it. That's half the battle. Let's go down to Marvel Stadium. The other big matchup is Chincotta v Butters. Jono, you keep your peepers on it. Is he getting frustrated, Zach Butters, or is he handling it okay?
No, he's trying his best to handle it, Gaz. I think the way that Chincotta's playing him is quite smart. He's not going in centre bounce with him. He's staying off half back. He goes into Zach Butters is in centre bounce, and after the bounce, Chincotta rolls up and Chera flops out to half back. So they're getting that right. I think for Butters, he needs to stay in centre bounce, but And he's trying his backside off, to be honest, and he's running from wing to wing and trying to break Chincotta if he can, but he's not been too successful at it in the first half of footy so far. So what you sort of maybe look at doing with the Zach Butters, and I think Ken Hinkley needs to seriously look at this, because around the ground stoppages is a liability. Chincotta's physical with him, pushing him out of the way. He's trying to run some patterns that aren't working whatsoever. I think you need Houston and you need Horne-Francis in around the stoppage more around the ground and get Butters forward of the ball. Sit him at full forward even for the third quarter and see if you can have an impact inside forward 50. Centre bounce, yes, then play forward completely for Zach Butters. Chincotta's likely to not go with him. If he does, I think he can match up quite well with him as a deep. So I think they need to adjust the way Zach Butters is going. Around the ground's a bit of a liability at the moment, Gaz.
Go on, Jono, we'll have a look at that in the second half, boys. Just a quick one. You've got to tidy you can't have these loose things going on. Always go to grand final day. With a goal post, with your goals and the flag pole, right? Ooh. Now, just put it behind the goalpost, for God's sake, man. How do we let this happen in this professional game? If that's a grand final and that denies you a grand final, they'll burn the grandstand down.
Struggle to get over that one, wouldn't you?
I know they've got a lot on their plate, the AFL, and we know they have, but just fix that. That's an easy fix. Don't leave the bloody goalpost, the flag.
From experiencing grand finals, hitting the post I'm still reminded of it a long time later.
You're on the right side of it, though.
I was on the right side, unfortunately, yeah, but had it been the other way, I'm reminded by a lot of St Kilda supporters.
Beautifully said, Thomas. You're dominating. Let's take a break, get the latest from Sportsbet.
Let's have a look at it.
All right, so there we go. Half time. You heard a little bit of the wrap up from the boys there as they gave their analysis on some of the game. They're just on a break there, so we'll get back to them not too far away. There you are, Carlton 8-6-54. They dominated that quarter 4-5-29. Port Adelaide, of course, the Blue Baggers, 7-2, kicking pretty straight in that quarter to Port Adelaide, 2-3. They probably should have had an extra couple of goals there. One dribbled through, should have got that ease. And, of course, one hitting the umpire's flag. And if it does that, well, they say it's a behind. It's a behind. So there we go. We're about 10 minutes away from the start and the bounce to the second quarter. Have a look. Let's have a look at some of these players' stats here. As we get to half-time, Ollie Wine's going well there for Port Adelaide with 18 disposals, 6 kicks, 12 handballs, 2 marks, 4 tackles, of course 5 clearances, doing a good job. Sam Walsh, not too bad there for the Blue Baggers with 15 disposals, 8 kicks, 7 handballs, 1 mark, 7 tackles, 4 clearances, so he's in it a fair bit. Doing his job there. Halfwit, how you going, brother? What's happening? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, the footy tonight. Who are you going for? Port Adelaide or Carlton? Which one? Connor Ruse, 14. For Port Adelaide, not doing too bad. Elijah Hollins, he had a slow second quarter there. I think he had 11 in the first, and he had a couple. I stole Adrian's dinner. Nice. Oh, burger and fries. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that right now. It'd go down well, a nice Big Mac or fillet of fish or something like that with some fries and a chocolate shake. That'd go down well watching the footy. Ace Burgoyne with 13 and Kira with 13 each of 2. Brody Kemp 12. Paddy Cripps, not too bad. He's having a reasonable game. His opponent's been pretty good on him. Carlton by 20. Carlton by 20. Now, let me just click over to that. What is it at the moment? Carlton's by 25 at the moment. Port Adelaide, you know what? Port Adelaide aren't going too bad. Just they missed a couple of opportunities. Carlton's backman pressure has been pretty good. I think, Carlton's pressure was about 193 on the pressure gauge and Port Adelaide's was about 198. So both teams high up on the pressure. It's a game that it could open up. It's a game that could open up, Addy G, but we just don't know what way yet. I know it's about 25 or so point lead to the Blue Baggers, but it could still go any way this game. Pretty tight. Charlie Curnow 11 disposals. Have a look at that. 11 kicks. He doesn't like handballing, does he? 0 handballs. Is this cricket? No, this is football. Best game in the world. Australian rules footy. AFL style, brother. AFL. 4 marks, 2 tackles. He's kicked 3 goals from his 11 kicks. Tell you what, Charlie Curnow looks a lot better player with Harry McKay out of the team for Carlton. He just seems to have a little bit more free space to run up and down the ground. You know, to lead in, take some of those big marks. Doing a good job, Charlie Curnow. Zach Butters, quiet for Port Adelaide. He needs to lift. He's only had 10. Who else have we got down here? Who else have we got? Jesse Motlop, he's just a 7, but he's kicked a goal, not too bad. Mitch McGovern's not going too bad in the back line for the Blue Baggers. And Jacob Wiedering, he's doing all things right down there as well. Adam Sard gets on his bike and he's doing a lot of running as well. Radaglia was a little bit quiet in that second quarter. He sort of dominated up forward for Port in that first quarter, but very, very quiet. He's, as I said, he still only had 2 kicks, so he didn't get a kick in that second quarter. There we go. Still got the 1 goal one. George Yardis with 3 for 6 possessions for Port Adelaide. He's looking pretty dangerous for them. And of course, where's Charlie Dixon? He has done very little for Port Adelaide up forward, as we see. There we go, 6 touches. He's only had the 1 kick. He's had 5 handballs. He's been put under immense pressure down forward by the Carlton backline. 1 mark, 3 hit-outs, 1 clearance. Let's just go back up. We'll have a look at the goal scorers. So the leading goal scorers on the ground, we've got 1 each from both teams. That's George Yardis for Port Adelaide and Charlie Curnow, both with 3 goals. Lewis Young for Carlton, Matthew Owies, Jesse Motlop, Matty Kennedy, and Matthew Cottrell, 1 for the Blue Bag as well. Radaglia has got a single goal. Now, if you play the AFL Fantasy Points game, there's your leaders. Charlie Curnow on 72. He's leading the table there. That's not too bad, is it? 72 for Charlie Curnow. He's having a great game. Having a great game. Sam Walsh, 69. Ollie Wine, 66. And George Yardis, 57. Hollands, 56. Paddy Cripps, 48. And there you go for the rest of them. Let's just have a look. Where am I? The team stats. Let's see what's happening there. As I said, this is a pretty even game. This is a pretty even game, folks. You know, it looks like Carlton are dominating by the score. Well, they're sort of dominating the play. Their pressure's good. They had plenty of run. Port Adelaide started reasonably well in that second quarter, but then Carlton took the reins and ran with it for the better half of that second quarter. Kicks pretty similar, only 3 the difference. Same with the handballs. Look at that, inside 50s. They're both getting their opportunities. Carlton with 14 scoring shots for their 26 inside 50s. Port Adelaide are just the 9 scoring shots from 27. Their efficiency, not too bad. Disposal efficiency. Their inside a 50 efficiency. Well, Carlton lifted that then by a fair bit. They're at 50%. And Port Adelaide dropped off there. They need to lift that at 42. Free kicks, Carlton, they got 15 to Port Adelaide 9. There we go. Can you believe it? Well, Port Adelaide. Yeah, I think most of the free kicks were there. Nothing really, as I always state, nothing really changed the game or the score with the free kicks given. Maybe there was 1 free kick to Port Adelaide, which, I don't know whether it was really there, which resulted in a goal, but didn't do too much damage to the scoreboard at the moment. The hit-outs, Port Adelaide by 5. Clearances, 6 in favour of Port Adelaide. Centre clearances, 5-7. No one's getting real clear centre clearances there. The pressure's on. The guy, he takes the ball and he gets tackled, so, the pressure's on in the centre as well. Stoppage clearances, Port Adelaide by 4 there. On season's average, Carlton a little bit below. As you can see, Carlton a little bit below on the centre clearances as well. 14.1 is their season average. They've only got 5 at the halfway mark. They need to lift that as well. Contested possessions, Carlton on top there by 14. Uncontested, pretty similar, 97 to 103. Turnovers, well, there we go. Carlton just lifted the pressure notch there a bit more, causing Port Adelaide to turn the ball over a little bit more. 40, Carlton 29. Carlton are under their season average, so that is looking good for them. There we go. Time in possession for the match, 41 each. The second quarter, Carlton had the ball more, 45%, 35 to Port Adelaide. It was about similar in the last 10 minutes of the second quarter, 23, 27%. Port Adelaide doing a little bit better in the marking department, 47 to 37. Marks inside 50, the same, but not putting it on the board where it counts, where they should be. When they mark inside 50, you've got to stick it through the big sticks where it counts. Contested marks 4 to 6, Port Adelaide. There we see the goals, 8 goals, 6 to 4, 5, Carlton's way. Tackles, 34-39, 68 versus, there we go, Carlton's season average. Port Adelaide a little bit higher up, so the coach will be happy with that from his players, and the tackles inside 50, 5 to 6. There we go. Let's have a look in general. The bounces at a couple each, and the 1%ers. Port Adelaide, although doing more of the 1%ers, trail here at half time. And just bring this back up so it doesn't make you dizzy. Let me just get that there ready. Or I actually want the summary. There we go. Oh, that's better. We're only 50 seconds away from the bounce of the second quarter, and we're going to take you down to the ground in just a moment for the commentator. And we'll be back live for the second quarter here at Marvel Stadium, where it is a ring-a-ding-ding cracking game. Carlton leading at the moment, 8-6-54 to Port Adelaide, 4-5-29. We're going to be back with the commentators any second as the players head back out on the ground. They're taking their positions. So Carlton helping Freo. Good stuff. That's it. They absolutely are. If we just have a look, where's that live ladder again? So there's Port Adelaide. As it stands at the moment, still in 7th position. So Fremantle still half a game clear, or say a game clear. Fremantle supporters will be very happy with that. And Carlton only a game off top. All right, folks, we're going to get back down to the ground. We're going to take it away to the commentators. Enjoy the second half here between Carlton and Port Adelaide.
Was worrying them so much. He's getting free kicks at will. Zach Butters is still the class act of this group. If they're going to win, he's going to have to get heavily involved. He and Connor Rose here too. And it's not saying anything that anyone at that ground doesn't already know, but they need to get really busy and help them out. We'll sit back and enjoy this second half. 25 points the margin in favour of the Blue Bags. We'll see you at 3 quarters.
Charlie Dixon goalless last time these two sides met. We need a big second half from him. Horn Francis nearly. Walsh with brilliance. Chincotta has to bodyline this. Evans came through. Say about Logan Evans, what a great story. Mid-season draft. Coming off 675 metres gained last week. Walsh. Bergman somehow got that ball correctly disposed of.
It's a great steroid, JB. He's a beautiful kick of the ball as well.
Yeah, it is. It's a ripper. I sat on the plane with his mum and dad. They were coming over for his first game about a month ago. They're magnificent people, and just a smile that wide on their face to think their young bloke had finally made it. And not only has he made it, he's playing really well. Comes to the back of Walsh, who's a star. High and wide, Young, not favoured by the bounce. Burgoyne went without it. Young over the top, Hollins. Walsh goes again. Just missing Motlop out of play.
Had some great mid-year pickups over the last couple of years.
Sam Durham?
Yeah.
bitten that. Sweet. Jones. Went past it. Drew out the back. Nicely drew. There's a second go at it. Very, very direct. Sard straight through the hands. Did well, Kemp. Sard had another go. Wiedering. Bit of a ground ball for Chera. Horne-Francis closing. Starting to worry. Support from Newman. Took him on. Gee, I'm not sure he made contact with the hands there. Gee. Radaglia. Sard, a third opportunity. The smother by Rioli. Horne-Francis. Little dribbler. Now minor score.
Joy Newcomb was another one, JB, 2021, and gee, how well's he going in his Hawthorn team?
Yep. It's a good thing. A lot of mature age players get another bite at it. Newman to bring it in. Wants to go straight down the middle. He sees a matchup he likes. Jones got a hand in there. Might still work for them. Chincotta just unable to control a hot footy. Drew. Georgiades to a 1v2 involving Radaglia. It gets all the way to the back, and Kemp. Short one to Newman.
Newman thought about Holtons and Fogarty. In the end, neither of those. Jones the line and out of bounds. Young was a late replacement tonight. Harry Mackay, a late withdrawal. Young came into the side and has swung forward in this game. I guess they still wanted that bounce off half-back, Richo, with McGovern, etc., didn't they? Didn't want to upset that. There's Rosie on the square. It is indeed. Can this man here, Horne-Francis, make it? He can. Georgiades, the ball fake, and missed right. Kenny Hinkley holding his breath at the moment. He knows his side need to act now.
We started this term nicely. Some territory, a couple of misses. On a subdued Marvel Stadium. Wiedering. There is Logan Evans, not able to hang on to that.
This is for Mead, starting on Welsh. Welsh has had 19 touches already. You might be pay a little bit more respect to some number one draft pick. Just floats off, gives it to Welsh. He's always going to get the right spot. A little bit more attention around the stoppage.
Sweet. Cottrell. It's almost as if the Blues fans haven't realised the second half started. It's a real whispery feel about Marvel. Sweet, clean possession. Mead. Cottrell. Sard taken in the Rioli tackle.
That number one draft pick club, Hodgie, they ever catch up with each other? Do you have a little club and sort of catch up and talk about how you're all number ones?
No, Brian. No.
You don't get together and say, gee, we're all the same?
Occasionally.
Jones taken high in the tackle by Elijah Hollins.
Could ask the same for the 100 club.
No, we don't. We should, though.
Yes. Coleman Medal Club.
I suspect the premiership meetings are much.
Kevin Bartlett used to say him and Tucky had their,
good mark.
Had their 400 club meeting in a phone box. There's only two of them. Yeah, a few more now, though.
So here is Butters. Nice mark under real pressure. Yes, he did.
We'll have a sixth 400 next week, Brian.
Yep. Another one. Scott Pendlebury, of course, against Carlton on Saturday night. And that'll be absolutely pumping at the MCG. So Butters, this is really important. As JB said, they kicked the last goal of the second quarter. They can get going here, trim it back under 20 points. They can start to wind up and believe. Good-looking ball inside of the post, though. A couple of opportunities missed here.
It's their third poster of the night.
It's just starting to break the shackles a little bit, Butters.
They are coming here, Port Adelaide. McGovern, a long one. Alia Broken up at ground level by Curnow. Worried out of it there was Butters. And taking the mark, Elijah Hollins. Into Chincotta. Back by hand to Hollins. Saw his brother, corner of the eye. They've done that a few times before. McGovern comes across. Paul Francis there as well. And they can't keep it alive. It's over.
I feel like the Port players are waiting for some sort of spark off each other, JB.
Well, they've got 3 behinds to start this term. Just stick the next one through and they've got a spark.
As you saw there, Chincotta going over to Rosie.
And Francis normally provides a spark. Here we go. Handball into the corridor. Frankie Evans. Walsh. Jones got hold of him. Did he drag that back in? Ball comes out now. Curnow's got to compete against a couple. Out the back. Exactly what they couldn't allow to happen. Just unable to be clean young. Houston. And they've just hit the wrong side of the ball and it's out the full.
Inside 5, move out.
Really battling at the moment here, Port. Bit of Kennedy there, knocked away from him. Happy with the setup at the moment that Port have got, gentlemen. Don't need to tweak anything here.
I think the only move you would have is the Radicalia one, forward and back. Stuck with him at deepest forward at the moment, Radicalia.
Any Hickling hoping they can get something happening here. They're right on the edge of it. Blues are battling hard. The smother spills to McGovern. He's a big kick of the footy. That one's not quite where he would have wanted it.
You've got Horn Francis at the moment as the deepest forward. We know that can work. He's kicked multiple goals before.
We've seen it happen quite a few times, haven't we, with him?
But you need some good fast ball movement in there for him so he can use his pace to get off his man.
That's one thing Carlton have been very good at tonight, defence. They've slowed down Port Adelaide's ball movement. That's where they get a lot of their goals from, their transition from D50 to forward 50. They've just blocked it as this play here. There's no movement in front of the ball.
They love the corridor normally from this spot. They just haven't had it tonight.
Radicalia, good hands from him. Bergman on a fast play. Long one here for Dixon. Ground level. Now they can open things up. Georgiades. Back to Evans. Georgiades. Thought a teammate was there. There was no one there. Hollins.
Carlton's pressure though. 3 or 4 times there they shut down a player that you thought was out.
So Radicalia is going to have a slow ball inside 50. Dixon one out, the deepest player at the moment. Coming in his direction. Dixon gets a run at it. Wiedering out the back. Georgiades there, Pitnet. Just careful with the handball to Hollins. It's still in the danger zone here. They are pressing at the moment, Port Adelaide. Can they conjure something up out of this?
Carlton.
Can they lock it in, or the Blues going to go forward with the footy here?
Yeah, their pressure's up. They're just flipping around a lot of handballs in their forward half at the moment, Port, and it's because of Carlton's pressure. They just can't get out and release.
Carroll. Kennedy in a hole. Walsh the handball received. Back to Carroll. Rioli coming hard. Brilliant.
The ball. Port Adelaide. Walsh, stand.
Short to Boak. Drew.
Didn't see Rioli coming because I reckon Rioli was on his way to the bench and turned around and came back. Thought I'll get one more tackle.
Drew. Now Sweet has dropped forward. Got to find a way to get this through.
Move out, Trev. Move out now.
You don't want a Rioli coming at you like that. No.
Hand off. Farrell. Radicalia had about 4 to beat in the air, and that's tough to do. Saad can bring it away. And cleverly done by Hollands. Finds Cowan.
It was almost a smother. So they're really setting up the wall here at the moment, Port. They're trying to provide this opportunity. How long can they sustain it without getting a breakthrough?
We've had 8 entries for 3 points, BT.
Yep.
And
they need reward.
Carlton will have their turn here in this third quarter, so Port need got to hit the scoreboard.
Down the line they go. No one wanted that in the air. Fogarty was eventually tackled. Ball trickled out. Cripps somehow worked it there to Carroll. And the Carlton bench. Opportunity to change within a couple of metres here of the Carlton bench. This boundary throw in. Michael Voss spent all game as he does on the bench. We'll get an extra break here for a blood rule as well.
As we got Chinkota in on Rose E, there's no blocks, there's no movement. He's just left to fight all by himself. Where's his teammates going to put a hit on for him?
Blood on Hollands then. Wines. So no mark here. Carlton will have to deal with this. Cowan immediately looking back for Wiedering, and Wiedering to Young, and Young strong.
Port are winning clearances, Hodgie, but there's none of that fast inside to outside clearance work. It's a lot of just hacking out of clearance tonight.
It looks like Carlton saturated the stopper just to really block that up.
Wiedering to the outer side. Sets Elijah Hollands a task, and he's up to it. Floating ball forward. Tough one for Kennedy to make anything of. And a forward 50 stoppage, or a forward half stoppage. Not a bad result here for the Blues. Young, clean possession. You can hear the touch call. Oh, he's so good in these situations. Brilliantly tackled. Cripps. Right in. Patrick.
So a bit of a stalemate here at the moment. 10 minutes ticked over. Sweet. What was on the run? Wines and Burgoyne. Combined. McGovern, you think's going to get on the end of this. Sensational grab. Mitch McGovern.
Just great body work from McGovern. Knew where the ball drop was going to be. No Georgiades out of the spot.
And now Carlton looking unloaded in the heart of their 50 over the head of Curnow. Cottrell ran over the top of it. Here they go now. Rosie, little right foot slider. Didn't get the connection that he'd hoped. He wanted it more inboard than that. And Wiedering offering instructions before the ball arrived.
He wanted to block and he got it. Stand, Carroll. How brave does he want to be with the ball? He goes long. No Mackay down in those marking situations. Fogarty. Curnow, well done. Brilliant kick, Fogarty. And Charlie, who has 3, can kick the first of the term.
More than 40% of his goals are kicked in third quarters, JB.
Had a deep breath there. He was just about to wheel on his left, and he went, no, I'm going to go back and just suck it up and take my time and my routine.
More than half of his goals this season have come in this term. Look at that. So, Curnow stumps the post.
He liked the look of that too. He thought when it came off the boot, he thought it was good.
It definitely is a poster boy. So, come on, Richo, liven up. Dixon.
Brian.
Rosie. Boak. 364th game for Boak. Forward, Kemp. Burne-Jones. On the left boot. Got the dribbler. Port get the first of the third. Jones. 2 in a row now for Port Adelaide to get it back to a 3-goal game. It's a hard-fought goal, that one.
Right on here from Radically. He was out of position. Looked like Kemp was going to take that mark. But he didn't give up, got a hand in it. And then Burn Jones, we know he's got speed. He backed himself, composed himself, put it onto his left. Finally got a little bit of reward, Port Adelaide. First goal from 9 inside 50s.
Biggest lead was 31 points. And we're back to 3 goals. Young out of the middle to Walsh. Couple of spinning moves. Now he's gone. Holding ball. They're back in this game, Port Adelaide. Mead. Butters.
Sam, high on.
Last camp and a free kick.
High contact. Carlton, miss.
And the Blues to McGovern.
Stand.
Long for Curnow, brilliant. Sees something he likes, forward of the ball, Kennedy. Zerk Thatcher now has got to be very careful with the footy. Did that nicely to Bergman, beautiful kick to Butters.
Gee, that's a good kick from Bergman. Now Butters wanted to chew off a bit in the middle, pulled out of it just at the last moment. Mead, dribbler, difficult one for Georgiades, pressured by McGovern. Oh, Brian, that kick from Bergman had to be perfect. They're under siege there. Great kick, relieved the pressure. Now they've got a stoppage in their forward half. Dixon into the ruck here, got a nudge from Young. Advantage paid. Here's Boak. A very, very high ball. Rioli, good luck with that. Flying over the top, no success. Rioli ends up with it. Boot to ball missed.
Suddenly looks so likely going forward now, Port. Carlton being asked to do a lot of defending. There we go, the last scores. 6 of the last 8. Cripps got nothing to go to, so lights off the gettable one to Carroll. Kennedy's out. Kennedy, fantastic. Great decision by Cripps at half forward. He had absolutely nothing. He didn't blaze away. He just bided his time until he had a little hit up target. That allowed Carlton to readjust, get some players rushing inside 50, and then a great contested mark to Kennedy, who is good overhead as a midfielder for his size. Got one on the night. The Blues first of this 3rd term. Shouldn't miss from there, and he hasn't. Excellent marking goal from Matty Kennedy. And a little against the flow for the Blues.
Look at the work rate from Kennedy at that kick in. He's at the inside the defensive 50 trying to provide an option, and then he just tracks the corridor all the way down until Cripps gets it in, lowers his vision, hits Carroll, and then Carroll rolls onto his left. It's a great mark, but he gets that opportunity because of his work rate, D50 all the way through, and kicks the goal.
Third time that Kennedy has kicked multiple goals in a game this year. 16 of their players have achieved that this year.
Let him go.
Big goal for the Blues, an answering goal for the Blues. Challenge of Port was set. Cripps. Burne-Jones might have been taken high here.
Stand.
Little chisel. Couldn't quite find the target. This will put pressure on Butters. Looking for the kick in the middle. The easy one's there if he wanted to take it to Farrell. He goes to Thatcher. Got running support in Aliir with the overlap. Aliir now just sends a high ball to a 1-on-2 against his own mob. One of those was Chera. Funneled out here to Kemp. Kemp to Carroll. Carroll under pressure, ball was smothered. And we'll have a throw in.
You mentioned Kennedy there with multiples. It's one of Carlton's great strengths. At the moment, BT, in the last 6 weeks, they've had at least 4 players in each week kick multiple goals. And that's why they can score quickly.
Michael Voss pouring over the numbers. Drew. Boak. Wobbles it forward. Wiedering with no real connection to the fist. Saad, a smashing ball out of there. Butters. Farrell. Just pushed as he kicked it. Bergman's good enough. Ground level, almost Burne-Jones. Kemp. Evans. In the phone box, did really well. Centering ball, Chera's got work to do. Rioli! Goal, Port Adelaide! Great to have Willie Rioli back playing footy. A little spell in the sandful. He is full of excitement.
Smart from Evans. Didn't rush through. He thought through his decision, trying to find if there's a person in a better position. Just the safety, went to the top of the goal square. And you know, if you leave Willie Rioli by himself in that area, he had 2 or 3 metres to be able to snap it over his shoulder.
2-4 to 1-2 in the quarter. Port Adelaide's way. Cripps. Carlton had the answers for everything so far.
Time, stand.
Ball here to Rosie. Just feel like they've had the better of in this quarter. They certainly have on the scoreboard. Rosie. High footy. Dixon was able to keep it alive. Collins, quick whistle. Ben Hinkley up off the bench. His 12th season, won at least 10 games in every season that he's coached. What an effort that is. People want to tear him to bits. Won at least 10 games in every season that he has coached. Remarkable. Sweep to Hollins. Hollins kicks straight down the throat here of Farrell, and he has got a prodigious left foot kick.
It's an unbelievable record for Ken Hinkley. I reckon in a lot of American sport, they celebrate if you win more than 50% of your games.
That's right.
You've had a winning season.
That is a winning season for a coach.
Over here, it's like if you don't win the granny, it's like you've failed at times.
It's like the Bulldogs. They're going through their most successful period ever, and they just keep getting criticised. But they're having a great period in their history. Here is Farrell to keep this one going in a big way. Will that come back enough? Yes, it has. So 3 goals to 1 in the quarter. Nice kick, 11 points now the margin. Right in it here. They have been strong and resilient in this quarter, Port Adelaide.
Beautiful kick of the footy, fella.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 70-metre dart.
You want to be on the end of his kicking. In those 12 seasons Kenny's coached, only one other team has won 10 games in every year, and that's the Cats. So that's the sort of record Ken's got.
Kick 4 of the last 5 here, Port. Horn Francis. Burgoyne. Horn Francis goes again. And took a couple to get him down.
Mark, Jordan.
Evans crashed in the tackle. Fogarty. Big couple of minutes here. Port Adelaide.
Sorry, JB. Butters thought he got away from Chincotta. He's back.
He can drag another one here. Magnificent quarter for them. Kemp. Rioli. Burgoyne to a dangerous spot. No mark paid, and now they're away. Oh. Last line there was Curnow had to be very careful. Hollands to fly. No one touches it.
Does this quite a bit. Charlie Curnow, last 2 minutes of a quarter. Gets back, last man. There he is, top of the goal square. They were criticised a lot a couple of years ago. They were losing all those games late, and this is one of the things they did to adjust. Sweet. Jones, 4 pins. Fans not happy, but umpire Jacob Mollison absolutely thought he was right. Walsh. Hollands, attacked by Burgoyne. So it's really tightened up. A minute to go in the quarter. It's just an 11-point lead, 3 goals to 1 in it. Sweet with the flick out the back. Hewitt to Hollands, Hollands to Walsh. Walsh nailed the moment he got it. An opportunity here for Farrell, trying to get onto his left. Rosie, so unselfish centering ball. Should he have gone for home? Ball spills to Evans, caught in the Saab tackle. 44 seconds.
I can smell some blood in the water here, Port, I reckon.
There's Chincotta on Butters. Someone's got to put a block on. He's doing all his work by himself to try and get away.
Just 11 points, Horn Francis. Just missing.
Just drew the man that would normally go and try and put a block on. He's trying to get over to Cripps, I guess.
Yeah, it's normally your senior guys. Wines, and the guys that have been tagged in the past that know how hard it is, but it seems like he's just out there to try and beat him by himself.
Kenny Hinkley has got his side back in this game. Just 10 points. It was a 31-point Carlton lead at one stage. In that second term, Curnow gets no real purchase on that. Burgoyne with 19 seconds left. And beautifully smothered by Walsh.
So it's almost in neutral territory here on the wing.
Jordan, Mark, bet here, guys.
A swift team could score from here, but are they willing to risk it? Reckon Porter, 16 seconds. Sweet, missed all ball. Cripps, here they go. Jones to Burgoyne. Burgoyne can flick it up. Got it on to Boak. Boak hassled out of it. Cripps did well. And that'll just about end the quarter here. Intriguing quarter. The quarter in which we saw Port kick 3 goals to the Blues 1 to cut the margin from 31 just before half-time. Now back to 10 points.
All right, there we go. What a ring-a-ding game. I tell you what, it's a cracker. This is anybody's game. I think Chris is wanting the blue baggers to get up here. But they lead 9-8, 62 to Port, 7-10, 52. Carlton just put on the 1 goal 2 in that third term, whereas Port Adelaide put on 3 goals 5. I tell you what, Port should have been in front. Their kicking has been horrendous. Carlton are lucky. Port are kicking skew if. Let me say that for sure. That being said, the ball was played a lot down in Port Adelaide's forward half. Carlton's resilience in their pressure, and they held up well in defence, which kept them in front going into the final quarter. Let's have a quick look. Oh no, at the players' stats, just to have a look who's leading the stats count. Ruse for 22. Port Adelaide. Wines 21. Sam Walsh, not too bad there with 21. Zach Butters came into the game a little bit with 20. Nick Newman with 18, going all right there with Elijah Hollins on 18. Boak, going all right, 18 touches, 13 kicks. Charlie Curnow, I should say, he's having a great game. He's, tell you what, he's kicking goals, he's in defence, he's holding them up, he's, doing the run. He's playing a cracker game. 16 touches. Same as Paddy Cripps, 16. Took a bounce down the wing and was involved in a great goal scoring event there for Carlton, so that was good. At the back of play, should I say? How do I say that? I can't remember the word. Anyway, there we go. Jason Horne-Francis, 14 there for Port Adelaide. Needs to lift a little bit. Wiedring's still going all right there. McGovern, they're all holding up the defence. All playing a good game here. Tell you what, this is a cracker game. It's anybody's game. Make no mistake about that. I can't pick a winner. I can't pick a winner, folks. I can't pick a winner. If I was to say, I'd say just be careful, Carlton, because we know Port Adelaide comes home like a steam train. Georgiades, he's leading goal scorer for Port Adelaide with 3. Charlie Curnow still with 3. Matty Kennedy for 2 for the Blue Baggers. And we've got a few on 1, which is Young, Rioli, Radaguli, Owies, Motlop, Farrell, Cottrell, Byrne, Jones, all with singles. There we go. We're only a couple of minutes away from the start of the game until the final quarter. It's going to be a cracker. Make love, shout out. Welcome into the manager in the house. Hey, Day. Good stuff, good stuff. Good to see you. The old dark navy blue, says Chris. I'll tell you what, they're going to go all right. They're going to go all right. Let me just turn this around and say hello to everybody in the house. What's going on, folks? What's happening there? I thought I'd put the mic on and put the mic next to the commentators. I thought that sounded a bit better than as it was, so you can hear it a little bit clearer. Paul's going well. He's resting. He uploaded the new video. Now he's relaxing. I know, Chiang Rai. Nice place, Paul. Nice place. Got to get there one day. And Chiang Rai. Chiang Mai? Chiang Rai. Got to get there one day. Lang, we've got to get there one day as well. There we go. We've had 30 votes in tonight on the game. Who's going to win? Carlton have got 77% of those votes. 23% to Port Adelaide. It's only a 10-point ball game here. Let me put that back over so I know when the game will start. There we go. We're only a minute away, but I thought I'd turn it around. Come and say good day to folks out there. Okay, so Paul, we'll watch your new video. There we go. Thanks, Lang. Thanks, Dave. Just going to watch it. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch that after as well. Should be a good one, Paul. Yeah, it'd be nice to see a little bit more of Chiang Rai. It's supposed to be a beautiful area up in the mountains and, the provinces up there. A little bit cooler, the weather too, in that part of Thailand. And so, it'd be quite nice. Anywhere where you can escape the heat is good, especially when it's so hot. What are we, about 30 seconds away from the game starting? But it's a cracker game. I'll tell you what. Do you still think your tip is going to win who you tipped, or do you think the other one's going to win? I don't know. I originally went for Port Adelaide to win this game when Harry McKay went out for the Blues. But, as I said, since he went out, Charlie Curnow, he's probably had the best game of his season so far. He's had a cracker. But there we go. Just again, thanks everyone for coming in. We've got the last quarter coming up in just a moment. And what? Stay tuned. It's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding last quarter coming up. All right, the commentators, well, they're just having a little bit of a discussion. Players are back out onto the ground. They're milling around. They're getting into position. Umpire's got the ball in the centre of the ground. Paddy Cripps with 16 disposals. He only had the 4 touches in that third quarter. He needs to lift if he wants his blue baggers to get up over the line here against the fast-finishing Port Adelaide. All right, folks, let me turn this back around. Oh, that zoomed in. There we go. And we're going to take it back down to the ground for the final quarter here between Carlton and Port Adelaide. Let's go.
And the Blues want to lock away a top 2 spot. Port Adelaide need a top 4 spot. We'll wrap it up after the game.
100 games. So it's pretty hard to do. Willem Drew in his 100th tonight. Sard to Chera. Out wide Chin Cotter. With him Houston. With a one-on-one battle here on the wing. Houston happy to find the boundary.
So Abby just talked about that clearance dominance that Port have had in this last quarter. If they continue to get that, they've got to try and get some score from it. Carlton haven't been great at defending that in recent times. A little bit better tonight. Haven't seen Port bursting from stoppage.
Bit of net down. Cripps. Houston. And that's gone very professionally tackled by Cottrell. Stand! Short to Chin Cotter. Thumps a long one. Little play on it, Hollins. Evans. Kicks it straight into the path of Sard. Really tough for Walsh to handle. Lines. And Horne-Francis will make this work.
They needed that one lucky mark out of defence and they got it. Do you reckon Curnow was a little lucky too?
I reckon it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other there, BT.
Yep.
Need another look at it though.
They both had each other at various stages. Depends when you're going to blow the whistle. Here's Georgiades in the meantime. It's a horrible kick off the outside of the boot. Rioli's made it look a lot better than it was. Radigalia coming straight at him. Probably should have given that, but Rioli said no. I have this covered and I like the responsibility.
He's a good decision maker. Let's look at this. They're both wrapped up there. The umpire was right there.
So it'll be just outside 50 here, probably at 52 metres, 53, somewhere about that. Love to see him take this responsibility. Massive kick for him. Uses the man on the mark rule. Got around, gained an extra full ground. Went with a low ball. Missed.
He can sell it as well as anyone. Rioli.
Yeah. He sets up the candy store,
doesn't he?
You can just keep walking up and buying it. Long in the Curnow direction again and gets a hand to it. Drew comes through. Farrell holding the ball. Great pursuit there from Cripps. Walsh was out. It's gone the other way.
His leg tripped him, he's saying.
Oh, it's okay. So it's going to be a Farrell free kick. Steers it in the Dixon direction. Just couldn't stick the mark.
That's the best look he's had tonight. That's a little test for the hamstring there. There's the leg.
A little unlucky there as well. Ball pinging around. Rioli met solidly. Port have kicked 10 of the last 13 scores. 4 goals 6 to 1 goal 2. There's Narkle warming up just in case. In fact, he will get a run anyway, you would think. Ball knocked down by Sweet. Rioli again, banged it on the boot. Post.
Lockie Jones is looking a little bit sore down here, BT, and Quinton Narkle has just taken off the T-shirt, so it looks as though Port is going to make their sub.
4 posters for Port. Yeah, that test they were doing was definitely for a hamstring, where you pull down on the physio's shoulder with your back of your Achilles there.
Stand.
The switch, the paperwork's in. Good mark, Aaliyah. Pressing really hard here, Port Adelaide. Repeat entries. Radagalia. Kicked Port Adelaide's first of the game.
Wiedering just got caught up in traffic there, and Asava was able to get around to the front and float across.
Let's move out, Willie. 10 metres.
This gets us back to just a 2-point Carlton lead. The former Cat. That's good. First of the final term for Port Adelaide. They now have 5 of the last 6 in the game.
Enjoying his time up forward tonight. Asava did a bit of early work there on Wiedering, and he was just able to sort of push Wiedering off to his left there, get him caught up in traffic and then float across the front himself. Showing a bit of craft forward tonight. Some valuable goals.
Since Carlton's game-high lead of 31 points, it has been all Port, 5-7 to 1-2. Sweet, and here they go again. Boom Jones. Looking for the little chippy ball. He got dealt with after he got rid of it. So it'll be a free kick to Mead, I think, down the field.
That's one of the... Oh, jeez. What can he do there? I mean,
not a lot of
he's in the air, Brian.
Yeah.
You can't change your mind when you're in the air.
I think it was the knee that
Was it the knee that he's played?
The knee the umpire was focused on.
31 points down. Late in the second quarter, this to put Port Adelaide in front. No problems at all. Port lead early in the last. Six of the last 7 goals.
So, what did he pay? I mean, we need to know what he paid, but either way, I don't think there's anything in that, really. He's jumped in the air. You can't stop yourself once you're mid-air.
That's what I call gentle contact.
Yes.
Need a response here from the Blues. They've kicked just 1 goal in this second half. At the same time, Port Adelaide Footy Club have kicked 5. And now have the lead. Cripps almost. Walsh. Cup will get hold of him.
This side. Yeah. Come in this way.
Chincotta.
Touch, play on! You.
Elijah Hollins. Just have not allowed the Blues any time and space.
Bucks. Jordan Mark.
In this second half, Port Adelaide, it's actually been very impressive.
Midway through that third quarter, JB, 13-5 in clearances, 13-7 in inside 50s.
When they look for a response, Carlton, it normally comes from the skipper. Somehow got it to Walsh. He was claimed straight away.
This is the live ladder. It's currently third position on the live ladder. Could be third or 11th, depending on which way this game goes for Port. That's simple. A lot to play for here. Plenty of time left in it. Right in front of the interchange gates, this is happening. Wines to Drew. Drew looking for Boat. Got in the way did Carroll. Evans. Free kick, Carlton. Hewitt.
Stand.
Short little ball here to Carroll. Activated early in the game. Carroll deep, inside ball. Motlop got a bit of a break here. Flew with the big boys. Burgoyne, did he have a chance to get rid of it? Kennedy nailed him.
Goals have dried up here for Carlton. Can they manufacture one out of this? The big man, Pitternet. Hewitt. Across the face. Seven in the second term for Carlton, just one. Since then, Houston. Brave kick. Dixon couldn't handle it at ground level. Saad, same can be said. He puts a very good tackle on it. And we are very tight. Middle of this game. Walsh taken out of it, Drew. Little ball forward. And Newman has it pinned.
Mark.
Rosie.
15, play on, play on.
Ends with the spoil. Collins. Out of bounds, I think, before he made contact with the ball, or the umpire saying out of bounds on the full. So Wine straight down the line. Rioli in front. And this will go to the Blues.
Clearing, now. Time.
It wasn't the Rioli, it was the one behind with Dixon, where the penalty happened. Wiedering. Where are Carlton going to find this goal from? Been very slow entering their forward line, and Zerk Thatcher stretching with a nice grab.
So that's what he should do. Early on in the contest, he was too worried about his opponent. Just back yourself. You get in a position, go and take the mark.
Switch now from Burgoyne to Alia. Radigalia. Free kick for a chop of the arms.
Time, stand, play on.
Lewis Young back on Radigalia now.
Burgoyne. Long ball in. Drop mark. Narkle. Now Cottrell has it held in.
They've worked it to a position where they can now lock it in. Can they trap it here? Hewitt, Hollins, Walsh and Cottrell. Butters with the pressure. Out of bounds. From just where it was kicked, comes way back. Carlton fans not happy. Butters in the meantime sets it up for someone to run and jump. Radigalia had a bit of a go at it. Good tackle coming from Vaughan Francis, I think it was. It was.
Let's have another look at this.
Vaughan Francis just busted as he kicked it. Pitternet. Bergman. Out of the fingertips, Motlop. Their pressure has been superb, Port Adelaide.
Charlie, Mark.
Magnificent record at this ground, magnificent record on Friday night. Boak. Floating ball forward through the hands of Newman. Radigalia keeps it in. And the ball up.
Every little tackle means something. Dixon down. Cowan's kick was smart. Or DeConing out there now for the Blues, and you can only pick one. Which one would you pick? Which one's going to get this job done? Have a bit of think time on that. Picked up by Dixon, right foot snap. Young, right on the line. Any thoughts?
I'll have DeConing. The fact he's another midfielder out there. Plus he can push forward and kick a goal.
Oh, he's not going to get any shorter, Big H, as you get to the end of the game. He could take a contested mark and win it for you. I'll go the key forward, Brian.
Nice work.
Thatcher has really started to rise in this game.
It's so hard to move the footy at the moment, though. Transition is tough.
This is a cramping Zerk Thatcher. They go back in again. Owning territory, big fist. Boak. Walsh. Curno's got a battle against a couple. How good. No one ahead. He's got Kennedy running down the wing. He goes sideways.
That was critical, that mark from Curno. You had a Lear and Zerk Thatcher. Gives Carlton a chance now.
Port Adelaide have defended this really well, though. They worked hard. As soon as Curno took that mark, they worked hard behind the ball, so he couldn't go directly towards goal.
Cottrell on the run. Too easy in the end for Lear against the smaller opponent.
We're going to try switch sides here and see if they can get a breakthrough on this side. Sweet.
His last option here will be down the line. He'll be looking for something else.
Yeah, I'd say with the big man with hand on ball, it would be the go for him. You're correct, Richo. Right onto the magnificent Toyota logo. Knocked down to Butters. He's outnumbered. Look at them, 3-on-1. Butters still does the tackling. Hewitt extracts the footy though to Young. Now Cripps. Good block there by Young. Some nice candy by the skipper. Neat little ball here to Ollie Hollands. Back to Cripps. Takes him on. Not sure how he disposed of it. Hollands caught as well. Narkle decides not to take the advantage.
Well done, Bergman. That's two desperate tackles. Had Cripps running flat out at him.
Carlton coming off a 5-day break. Port Adelaide a 7-day break, and it's looking like it. They look fresher.
Look at that burst.
Here we go. Horn Francis out of side. Cottrell coming at him. Rioli, the magic man.
The decision maker.
Into the pocket. Not a great ball for Georgiades. An insufficient attempt.
That's right. He wanted that out. There's no doubt about that.
I don't know about that.
He did
100% he wanted that out.
Of course he wanted that.
He was trying to shake and bake him. What are you talking about?
There's a white line there beside you.
Yeah, but he just got
Stay
mixed
inside
up.
it.
He's a shake and baker.
Wandering to Saad. Nothing coming. He's got a short option. Well done, O's. Really important mark. Get this back, O's, he does. And then long to a 1v2 and easy.
Yeah, and Alia and Zerk Thatcher are really double teaming Curno now, so they need to find someone else to take a mark.
Alia, Dixon, Chera, Kennedy, Hollands. Is he within range here?
You've dragged out Zerk Thatcher. You've got a one-on-one if you go quick.
Now this is the left to right slider here.
I still think he's a chance here, Elijah.
He's going back with intent, Richo, and you can only like that about him. 10-1 from set shots. There's good reason, but it's probably more about whether he's got the journey. Inside left goal post. Elijah Hollands. Kick on the way. Nice. Has it got the journey? Touched on the line. Goal umpire just saying, yep, I've seen it. Don't need the replay. We like that. And that's why.
Well done. Sweet. The ruckman doing his job there, getting down, getting it through.
So runs his full measure and then belts it.
It's a big mark.
Kemp takes a good mark.
Willie Rioli was out the back there. If that got over the back, he could have gone the full length there.
Kennedy with a couple of feet in the air, and he managed to do it.
There you go. Kennedy's good overhead. Curno's being double teamed. He stood up with another contested mark.
That is quality to give the Blues back the lead and kick just their second goal in this second half. Matt Kennedy. Been a good night. Just to behind.
It's a nervous Carlton crowd here at the moment. Not sure whether to stand and applaud or sit and watch.
It's one of those games. It's going to be an individual act, a contested mark, and something special to win this, I think.
Logan Francis unloads. Dixon keeps it rolling. So does Burn-Jones. Chincotta had a difficult bouncing ball. Cripps now nailed there by the Willem Drew tackle. Had to get rid of it. Narkle takes the advantage. They say they put their hands up. They say no, we don't want to take the advantage.
That's a great tackle. Pinned the arm. Didn't fall into his back. Umpire saw it.
Scattering everywhere, players. Interchanges galore. And Willem Drew out the corner of his eyes. Sees an opportunity here with Butters.
Good option. Carlton got a lot of numbers back.
Butters now. From inside 50. Neat little ball. Horn Francis.
So that first switch, great. Carlton got a lot of numbers back. Shift them all across, and it actually separated them by switching it. It pulled Carlton apart a little bit. And Horn Francis was able to find that hole.
So when you talk about changing of the angles, that's a pretty good example, isn't it?
Absolutely perfect, BT.
So
that one there, so that drags some Carlton defenders across. It just stretches it out, gives a little bit of space. Look at Horn Francis.
Cottrell could have got a free off the ball then as well. There is Horn Francis now to kick an almighty goal. As straight as they come, Horn Francis gives them an 8-point lead. Beautiful kick. Goal umpire didn't even move. It was a bit off the ball on that occasion as well.
Yeah, it was sweet. Put a bit of a block on. Cottrell wasn't a lot enough. Probably not enough for a free kick. That's just Horn Francis stepping up when he needs to. Great ball movement from Port Adelaide, being able to switch, move angles, open up little pockets. This is a big centre bounce clearance for Carlton. Port Adelaide have won the last 5 centre bounce clearances this half.
Sweet with a hand in. Hewitt, Walsh, back to Hewitt. Sneaking forward, the champion Cripps. Inside he goes. Curnow can't mark it. Alir can. Has had a massive final turn.
That was his 4th intercept, JB.
Nice mark here.
Just
push. And a push. Not happy. The 40,000 plus.
Look for a few uncontested marks here. Carlton have got to shut it down, make him go long. I think they have.
That's what he does, Richo. Into the hands of Horn Francis. Sits the kick up for Rioli. Wanted body contact. Can't keep it in.
Not a bad result, though. You've got Alir behind the footy, marking everything. Get a few stoppages here.
Just setting up the wall behind the ball. They're all very alert. The Adelaide players, you can see deep in your picture there to try and lock it in. Richo's getting at. Here is Horn Francis trying to get boot to ball. Young's little kick spills. Big job for Hewitt. Winds to keep it alive. Free kick will go Carlton's way. Yeah, away on Hewitt.
They've got a slingshot from here. Come back on. Need 2 goals to win this game. Saad. No marking player at all here. It gets past Sir Thatcher. They've got enough numbers around though to make it work. Bergman puts on the Jets. Bashes it back inside 50. Dixon can't handle it and get another ball up.
Sir Thatcher was on the bench. They just got him back on. So he'll go to Curnow, and that'll leave Alir loose.
Every forward 50 stoppage, Paul Francis has got on the bolt, trying to run through the front of the stoppage.
He goes again here, Hodgie. The left foot. Not got enough on it. Scramble on the goal line. Ben Jones! Oh!
Hit the umpire.
I think it hit the post. I think it hit both, didn't it, Joe? Yep.
I've been hit by the ball. Can we please check what the score would have been?
Score review. Umpire's been hit by the ball. Please confirm the score.
Review underway.
Oh, that's
a goal.
Has that taken any of the padding?
No, I think it has. I think I saw it hit the post from the other angle, the front arm angle, JB, but it's hard from that angle.
Question here is, if it didn't hit his leg, is it going to hit the padding? If the answer to that's no, then that's a goal.
I think it's a goal.
You see how it's...
I do too.
Does it hit the post there, though, on that one?
But
let's have a look here. Keep rolling. No.
That's a goal.
Has that hit the back of the post?
Well, it has, but it's via his leg, so it was going through if it didn't hit his leg.
So it's bounced up his left leg.
Yeah.
That's a goal, I reckon.
This is a massive call.
Listen to this crowd. They give it a goal.
It's hit his leg and then into the post. It has to be a goal.
Now, it's a matter whether the leg is over the line or not, which I think it is. Is his left leg over the line?
I don't know that matters, BT. The only thing that matters is if it was going to go through if it didn't hit his leg. And I think the answer to that's yes.
This is a massive decision in the game. Carlton are either cooked.
Review complete.
Or they get a life.
Looking at these angles, we can see a gap between the ball and the post before it makes contact with the goal umpire. Decision on the scoreboard.
I reckon that's the right call. And it's probably a game-ending call. Burn Jones. Wow. That will be talked about.
But they had a good look at it, JB.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything you said is right.
I liked it. Yep. I don't think you can argue with that.
Thought their way through it.
So that's 2 on the game for Burn Jones, and well, they've just dominated the second half. Port Adelaide, they've earned this 14-point lead. Seven goals 8 to 1 goal 5 in this second half. It has been all Port Adelaide.
Yeah, but off the leg, back into the post. That shot there's a ripper, isn't it? That shows it clearly. So the Blues down by 14 points. A crowd of 40,500 here tonight.
Boat, good man to have it here.
Game 3-6-4 for Boat, same as Brad Johnson played. 13th all-time for Travis Boat. They have been brilliant in this second half. Port Adelaide, they have really tightened things up. Knocked down here to Saad. One from Hewitt. Cripps straight lines it straight up the middle. Charlie Curnow here, he should get a free for that. They mauled him.
Okay, you've got to leave behind the ball. So Charlie's just got to be smart here, not to bomb it long.
Sure, he does. Hewitt.
Well, Cripps is there.
Horrible ball. He was trying to find Cripps. It didn't happen. And Francis with a thumping handball to Boat. Narkle with the fresh legs runs onto that. It was always a question mark coming into this game, Richo. The 2 extra days Port Adelaide had to prepare. And a bashed up, banged up Blues, especially losing Mackay. It's a factor.
Yeah, it is. 5 days and then you lose your second tall forward. And it has proved to be a big problem late in this game, with Alir being able to take those 4 intercept marks down back.
Port Adelaide have owned this second half. Cripps, Fogarty, Motlop and Bergman, and comfortable for Bergman in the end.
Should be only the second time ever that Port have won from 25 points down. I think under Ken Hinkley, I think I'm right in saying that. All time, ever, in the history of them in the AFL, from 25 points down at half-time, 31 down just before half-time.
Take your hat off to Boak and Wines tonight. I mean, Rosie and Butters have been okay, but the old stages have stood up really big tonight. Wines has had 10 clearances.
Massive win, third on the ladder, Port Adelaide. Carlton will retain their second position, but the gap closes. Big 8-point game tonight. Port Adelaide have come with intent. At one stage they looked gone. It looked like momentum for the Blues in that second quarter. Since then, Cripps to the middle. Curnow steals it. Looks to go long, low, hard and fast. Allaire spoils it. Bergman there. Been terrific. Bergman, little handball back to Allaire. Motlop had him. Rosie to Drew. Drew down the line. There's under a minute remaining in the game. Wiedering's done well. Clobbered in the tackle here by Horne-Francis. Ball spills out, and Sweet will be happy with the boundary line.
What about Port Adelaide? Coming into this game, 10 of their last 11 they'd won at this venue, and 11 of the last 12 times they've appeared on Friday Night Football, they have won. Incredible. Fogarty. Curnow has continued to persist, but it's been tough for him. And Jason Horne-Francis very understandably puts the hand up and wants to take the gas out of it.
Second position on the ladder. JB has opened right up.
It has.
Can't be surprised though the way this year's going.
It's unbelievable to get a locked up ball. So this has been some performance. They've kept the Blues to just one goal in each quarter. And the ball is now out.
They've kept them,
in fact, 1 goal and a half.
Seven goals.
Incredible.
7 goals less than what their average has been here this year at Marvel. Port have kept Carlton to. They average 107 points here.
The siren's going to sound. And Port Adelaide have done it again on the Friday night stage. And I like seeing that. Respect from the two coaches. Too good, Port Adelaide.
It's more than a sport, it's a true Port Adelaide tradition. We'll never stop till it's top. There's history here in the making. We've got the power to win. We'll never give in till the flag is ours for the taking.
Goalless in the final term, the Blues. As we said, just one in the second half. They were completely shut down. And as BT said, for the second time only in franchise club history, they have come from 25 points down at half-time to win. Well done to Ken Hinkley and his boys. Happy to you.
Ollie Wines, congratulations. You banked your 12th win of the season in style here tonight. How proud are you of this group and their ability to pick back that half-time deficit?
Yeah, enormously. Look, we've had to show resilience throughout the year, and those couple of losses we went through, that tough trough, I think it just made us stronger, and we were able to grind out that second half. And we're very happy with that. Friday night footy in Melbourne. You've got to win in Melbourne to play finals, so we're very pleased. 25
points down at half-time. We saw a big spray for that midfield group from Kenny last week. Was there a little bit of that, or was there, I guess, a little bit more cool, calm and collected in that situation?
We learned our lesson once last week off Kenny, so look, naturally our midfield, and probably not me so much, but the other guys, they've got so much weapons offensively, and we've got to ensure that we're accountable throughout a game to our midfield defensively, and that's where Kenny challenged us last week. And you know, Drewy did a really good job on Cooper tonight, and us other midfielders sort of, I think, looked after the clearances. So I think we learned from that last week.
What about your game as well? You had 10 clearances yourself, but you just touched on that midfield battle. It's always a challenge coming up against the likes of Paddy Cripps and Sammy Walsh in there.
Certainly is, yeah. They're tremendous players, and they've been in really good form. You know, they're second on the ladder coming into that game. So we knew we were going to have a good battle. More often than not, the game's won and lost in the midfield, so we're very pleased with that tonight.
Congratulations, go and soak this up.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
This is a very, very big night for the Port Adelaide Footy Club. Welcome back. It is all brought to you by the Mustang Mackie, and the build-up to this game was huge. Friday night footy, big stage, and the general consensus was, well, if Port Adelaide are going to do anything this year, they're going to take a scalp. Carlton's a big scalp at the Marvel Stadium, and when you give up a 25-point lead at half-time and reel them in, it's as good as Port could have hoped for tonight.
Yeah, they defended well, didn't they? And they stayed with them. Fought back hard in the second half. We know, obviously, they would have known Carlton was coming off a 5-day break, so they were vulnerable. They lose Mackay before the game, which we'll talk about later on. But it was really Charlie or bust tonight. Yeah. That's what it looked like. It looked like he was going to rip the game apart in the first half.
You picked it beautifully, Tommy, at three-quarter time. All the numbers were suggesting that they were coming really hard, 10 points down, and just rolled over the top of them. Carlton kicked one goal for the second half, their equal lowest score for the year.
Yeah, quite incredible. And to touch back again on Brownie's point of the short turnaround, I think we could see some decisions and the way that Carlton were moving off ball really showed the fact that they may have just had a little bit of fatigue in their legs. But it was huge in the midfield. It was great to watch.
Wasn't necessarily pretty. I mean, you got to win ugly, and I'm not saying it was even ugly, but when their backs into the wall and Butters is not ripping at the shreds, and Rosie's not ripping the shreds, and Charlie Dixon can't catch it, and then all the things looked against them. They found a way, Geordie, and it's season defining.
Centre forward, they're ugly. I can give you absolutely, but you're right. I think perseverance, and we challenged a few players at half time that weren't in the game, so they had big second halves, and we'll talk about those players in a minute. So for all that was going against them, the 5-day break, all that sort of stuff, I just felt they stuck to their game plan. And I think Carlton jumped at half-time, jumped with the matchups, and certainly stopped playing and stopped running.
Have a look at this, and we keep looking at it and keep saying the same thing week after week after week, this most extraordinary of seasons. So they sit second at the moment, Carlton. They could tumble down the ladder on the back of this, and Port Adelaide...
They want Kenny sacked, don't they? He's third on the ladder.
I know, what an incredible... There's a lot of footage still to be played this season, but Port Adelaide have won 4 of their last 5 games, and Carlton have won 1. 4 of their last 5, sorry, Port. Carlton 1 of their last 4. It's not the sort of form line you want coming into a September with the expectations around Carlton. I know there were players out and there were late withdrawals, but take absolutely nothing away from this Port Adelaide side.
11. I think they're 11 from 12 at Marvel as well. So it's a game where they play really good football. But I reckon you're right. You can choose the storyline you want, but I think watching that game, it was a gritty effort. And as you said, sometimes it's hard to play when you're not playing pretty footy. But they just had to come on the road against a Carlton side, which Ollie Wines mentioned, which was second on the ladder, and win away when the pressure was on this Port Adelaide side to perform. So hats off.
Minutes before half-time, Carlton kicked 5 goals in a row. Motlop had kicked one to put them 31 points up. Georgiades kicks that goal late to get it back to 25, but it's a massive comeback.
Yeah, it is, on the road, because the Carlton crowd was in it, weren't they? And that's as loud as there is in the competition at the moment. So no matter how you win, well, it doesn't matter how you win on the road. You just got to win, especially when you're in a state team. So that's huge. They could carry that confidence in, because you actually look at their form line the last few weeks, it's been pretty good, Gus.
That's why you can't look too far ahead, Tom, not that you do, because you're still playing, but we got tendencies to go, they've got this team, and the 3 of the next 4 look only be at the next game. And right now they're doing it as well as anyone.
Yeah, well, the best sides seem to be playing the best sides at the moment, so they're almost 8-pointers, these games. So
they're an emotional. I always say they play, in the guise of their coach, and I think Kenny's an emotional coach. We've seen it. He gets up and about, although he's pretty measured down on the boundary there tonight rather. But I mean, this is a season that's still got plenty of life left in it for this Port Adelaide footy.
It's a bit different to the Hawthorn selfies earlier. Really, I think took one of himself. He wanted a few more passions. Louis the first cousin.
The cousin wouldn't have been happy if they cheered him
He
off
should have come in like Apollo Creed did in his first fight against Rocky. You know, like carried off the ground like on a wagon. They're 1-4-5, but what a great. It's always great to play in a great win in a milestone game, isn't it? So,
and just the belief that comes through this. I mean, in the end, Sava stands up at various stages, and we'll talk about that. You know, Charlie couldn't get it. This is away from home.
I think everyone had their moments. There wasn't an absolute standout from Port Adelaide, but certainly even that second half, even the defenders fought their way back into this game really well. So it was a game based on moments for Port Adelaide.
All right, folks, there you go. There we go. What a cracker. What a cracker. Port Adelaide get up in the final quarter over Carlton, 11-13, 79 to the Blue Baggers, 9-11-65. I tell you what, and Port Adelaide's, I tell you what, their pressure, their hunting was exceptional in that second half. Carlton only putting on 1 goal, 5. I tell you what, they didn't play it much down their forward line, whereas Port Adelaide kicked 7 goals, 8 in that final second half. There we go. 4 goals, 3 to just the 3 behinds to the Blues in that last quarter. Freo for top 2. They're a big chance. They're a big chance, Eddie. We'll have a look at the ladder in just a moment. Let's just go and have a little bit of a look at the player stats. See how they ended up for all the folks out there wanting a bit of a glance at this. Ollie Wines ended up with 26. Top possession getter for Port Adelaide. On the ground tonight, not too bad. 10 kicks, 16 handballs, 2 marks, 9 tackles, 10 clearances. He had a cracker of a game. Paddy Cripps, I tell you what, he tried his heart out, Paddy, but couldn't get the Blue Baggers over the line. 14 points. Port end up winning by, of course, trailing by 10 points going into that final quarter. Ruse with 24, Walsh with 23. Jason Horne-Francis came into it in that last quarter. He had a big last quarter, 23. Hewitt 23, 23 for Butters. Wasn't too bad late. William Drew, look at all the players here for Port Adelaide. They got right into the game in that second half and that final quarter for sure. Heading down. Charlie Curnow, I'll tell you what, he'll get some votes tonight, I think. He was probably Carlton's best player by... No worries about that. He did a great job. 3 goals to Charlie, 19 disposals. Look at that, 19 kicks, no handballs. He had 9 marks, 2 tackles. He did pretty well. Wiedering, it wasn't too bad though for the Blues. Down back was 16, did his role pretty well. Sard kept on running. Carlton coming off a 5-day break. Port Adelaide off a 7-day break. And he just looked maybe just a fraction tired. Carlton off that 5-day break. As we know, Port Adelaide, they were just, last week they were just running with the Tigers pretty evenly, but then just blew them away. So maybe they are the comeback team this year's Port Adelaide. It's from grand final. I'm just not sure about Port Adelaide. But I tell you what, anyone has got a chance this year. Even Freo, the flag mantle team. Let's have a look for the goal scorers. Georgiadis with 3 there for Port Adelaide off his 8 kicks. Charlie Curnow, 3 goals, 1 for Carlton. Radagululi, he ended up with 2 goals, 1 for his 5 kicks. He played not too bad there for Port. Matty Kennedy got a couple for the Blue Baggers, and Darcy Byrne-Jones got a couple for Port Adelaide. Singles to Young, Rioli, Owies, Motlop, Mead, Horne-Francis, Farrell, Cottrell. And fantasy points, who got on top there? William Drew and Charlie Curnow, 113 each of 2. Ollie Wines, 106. Nick Newman, 100. And the rest under 100 as we see. Let's have a look at some of the team stats. Everything was pretty even, I would say, up until about 3/4 time. And of course, Port Adelaide had all the play. They played it down their forward half for much of that final quarter. Carlton's defence held up pretty well, but just not well enough. 326, 352, 26 Port Adelaide in disposals overall. So that's not much, folks, in all essence of the game. 15 on the kicks ahead, and of course just 9 on the handballs. Inside 50s, well, they both got plenty of inside 50s, 45 to 56. 20 scoring shots to 24. So that's around about, works out about even. Disposal efficiency, well, Carlton's dropped a little bit there due to the pressure. And of course, efficiency inside 50 again, it dropped again due to Port's pressure. They were up at around 50%, but that dropped off. Free kicks, Carlton on top, 24 to 2. Quite a few free kicks, a few more than normal for the season's average there. That ran the stoppages, the hit-outs. Port Adelaide got that by 12 clearances. Port Adelaide got that by 9. Centre clearances, Port Adelaide well on top there, 13, as you can see. Carlton just with the 6. They're only going at about 40% for their season average. They need to lift that. They're usually a pretty good clearance team to get the ball, get that first possession down their forward 50. Stoppages, 27-29, pretty even. Contested, not much difference there in 15. Uncontested, 24. Not much difference there either. Turnovers, well, it was a high pressure game from both teams pretty much, so that's why the turnovers were up. Possession, Port Adelaide had it 48 to 36 for the game. In the last 10 minutes, it was all Port Adelaide, 46% of the play they had to Carlton, 27%. Marks, Port Adelaide again on top there by 11. Marks inside 50. Port doing the job there. Although Charlie Dixon had a quiet one, it does look like this could be his last season. Really didn't do too much. I think they need someone else down there that they can target. Just like Charlie is down there for the Blues. Port Adelaide needs someone like him. Contested marks, 12 to 13. Pretty similar. Defensive tackles, Port Adelaide on top there by 19. Well above. Actually, both teams were above. Both teams were above their season average. And tackles inside 50s. Port Adelaide getting the job done there. And the 1%ers, pretty even. Let's have a look at that ladder now. Let me just reload the ladder, see where it stands. No, the ladder, I want the ladder. Carlton, there we go. There is the live ladder. Sydney Swans, we've still got Sydney Swans on top with 56 points. 2 games clear. Carlton, Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide now jumped from 7th to 3rd. Looking pretty good. But that being said, we've still got Brisbane, Fremantle, the Giants, Geelong. We got everyone else to play. And Addy's team there, Fremantle, sitting in 5th position. Tell you what, this is the chance they've been waiting for. They play West Coast, who's sitting 16th on the ladder. If they have a good victory here, they will go to 2nd on the ladder. Because Brisbane are playing the Gold Coast Suns at home. And the Gold Coast Suns, as we know it, they're a very hard team to beat at home. So Addy G there, he'll be smiling, sitting at home with his burger and Coke, and cheering on the Fremantle to win by as big a margin as possible. I tell you what, she's pretty tight though, isn't it? Look at that. Apart from Sydney Swans on 56, there's only 2 games in it from 2nd to 11th. There is only 2 games in it. So there we go. So it's still anyone's chance. Don't forget, look out Hawthorn. And maybe look out Fremantle if they get up there for sure to get the double chance at the end of the year. But that is the live ladder. I tell you what, it's tightened things right back up again. So it'll be interesting to see out of these top teams here, from Brisbane right down to Hawthorn, to see who can rally their troops to victory. I think, well, Gold Coast is still a slim chance, but I think Gold Coast and downwards are probably out of the running for the finals, even though we've got about 5 rounds, 6 rounds, including this one to go. It should be a good one. There we go, Santa All. Of course, looking on the poll for tonight, who was going to win the game? Carlton, Port Adelaide. We had 35 votes in there. 74% went for Carlton. Port Adelaide, 25%, and 1% was who was going to win tonight's game. The people who were listening and watching, because it was just a great game. Of course, I tipped Port Adelaide tonight, the underdogs to get up and win, and just with Harry McKay going out of the game early due to illness. But there we go. I tell you what, it was a great game. It was a ring-a-ding-ding game. That's what we like to see, a Friday night close match. Port Adelaide just too strong. Catch you later, Paul. Thanks for coming in. He's going to go enjoy some Netflix. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, team. Good night. Good stuff, Chris. I know you were going for the Blue Baggers, but unfortunately, I couldn't get the job done. Hero Mike, Freo for top 2. Big chance, Eddie G. Big chance. Let me just turn this back around just for a moment. Before I turn it back around for 5 more minutes, just got to thank everyone for coming in. We just need Brisbane to lose tomorrow. And Freo can be second after this round. You know what? Even if Brisbane win, you can still go on top, because I think it was about 2.7%. I think that's what I saw. The difference in percentage. You know, I think with Brisbane playing Gold Coast at Gold Coast home game, that's going to be a little tough one for Brisbane, especially to get a margin on them. Where I think this is the time Freo needs to put their foot down and put a big gap in West Coast. This is their one chance to boost their percentage, and this is what they need. This could be the key game. This could be the key game for Freo that gets them top 2 at the end of the year. We'll look back on it. We'll look back on it and we'll go, you know what? If we had have beaten West Coast by a big margin like we should have, we would have been second. Would have got the home final, or that's the game we beat them by that margin. That's why we've got home final. So there we go. So I don't know. I tell you what. It is. I know West Coast people probably don't like Freo people much, but I think there's going to be a lot of people supporting Freo this week to have a big victory to boost their percentage. So there's a big chance for a home final in Fremantle over there in Perth. Hey, should be good. We're going to have one in what? We're going to have one in Sydney, maybe one in Freo. My gosh, we need some in Melbourne. Come on, Melbourne teams. We've got so many interstate sides in the top 8 at the moment. Who we got? We've got Sydney, we've got Port Adelaide, we've got Brisbane, we've got Fremantle, and we've got the Giants. We've got five interstate sides in the top 8 at the moment, but that could change because there's a couple of teams just outside of the 8 that's on fire. Of course, the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn. I still think Hawthorn, they're a young side, but I still think they're a big danger to every side above them. So, there we go. Who's Hawthorn playing this week? Hawthorn's playing Adelaide. So this could be, this is a season-defining game for Hawthorn. Playing at the Adelaide Oval on Sunday against the in-form Adelaide Crows. If Hawthorn lose this one, then I think it's yibbity-yibbita, folks. That is all for their season. And then there'll be probably a game and a half outside, which is probably a little bit too much to get their chance back into the top section of the ladder. I tell you, it's going to be interesting. So who else have we got for the rest of the matches this weekend? Tomorrow, folks, we have North Melbourne versus Geelong. Should be an easy victory for Geelong. What's Geelong? 44, 48. So Geelong also will be wanting to put a big margin to get a bit of percentage up on them, to catch the percentage up. Then that'll put them 2 points behind, just a half a game out of second as well. We've got Gold Coast Suns and the Brisbane Lions. That will be a ring-a-ding-ding game. That's going to be a cracker. 12th versus 3rd, but that is a big game. Gold Coast need to win that to stay with a slim chance at the finals, and of course Brisbane need to win that and win it convincingly to a chance at second on the ladder. St Kilda, Essendon, another game there tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter who wins that game. You know what? Maybe St Kilda at 2.18. Maybe they can defeat the favourite Essendon. Essendon are 8th. I tell you what, they're struggling. Essendon need to win this game to stay in the 8, or it could be their season over as well. Next match we've got on Saturday is Melbourne and the Giants, both looking to secure their spot in the top 8, and the Giants looking to get that spot in the top 4. I don't know, who do you get? I tell you what, Melbourne can do it. Melbourne can do it. It's at the MCG, so it's a home game for Melbourne. They can do this game if they bring their best. You know, there's weeks they don't bring their best. If they do, they can get the job done. But with the Giants going pretty well, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty even game, and the odds say 190 each of 2 for favourites for the game. So no favourites going into that game, no underdogs, pretty similar. And of course, Saturday, we've got the big derby there over in Perth. Fremantle Dockers versus the West Coast Eagles. 5th versus 16th. Freo looking for a top 2 spot. Can they do it? I think they can do it. I think they can do it pretty comfortably. I think the Dockers probably by about, I think the Dockers should win that by probably 9 to 10 goals. All going well. Hey, E.T., what's going on? What's going on, Squire? We're just about to wrap this one up. Not too far away. Thanks for popping in, young fella. And then, of course, Sunday we've got the match of the year, match of the century. We've got Collingwood versus Richmond. Richmond, I tell you what, this is one good game for Collingwood. They go in as favourites at 124 against the Tigers at 395. This is like the perfect game at EG for Collingwood, because Collingwood need to win this to keep their mathematical chance alive at the top 8. And Richmond, they need to lose this game to get the better draft picks. It's a win-win for both teams. So I think Collingwood will get the job done on Sunday, and Richmond will definitely hold them along, I presume, I would say. Of course, one of the matches of the round is Sydney versus the Western Bulldogs. Sydney go into that favourite at 151, the Bulldogs 250. We've got 1st versus 9th on the ladder. Tell you what, Sydney's not in great form. They've lost their last couple, haven't they? I think they've lost their last. Didn't they lose their last couple? I think so. Something like that. 2, 3, 4. Or no, they might have lost 3 of their last 4. I think that's right. I think something like that. My gosh, you think I'd know, wouldn't you? But there we go. And the Bulldogs, I tell you what, the Bulldogs are on fire. So I'm thinking the Bulldogs might get this job done as the underdogs up there at the SCG on Sunday. And of course, the final game of the round, we've got Adelaide Crows versus Hawthorn. Both teams in great form. The Crows in great form at home. But Hawthorn, I tell you what, Hawthorn are looking like the world beaters of this competition at the moment, who sit 11th. This is a battle, 11th and 14th. Adelaide Crows battling for pride. Hawthorn, mathematical chance to get in the 8. So there we go. So there we have it, folks. There we have it. That is the game tonight. So I will turn this back at Matlock match of the century. I know. Can you believe it? I know. It's just one of those win-win games where we need to win and Richmond need to lose for them both to succeed. It's bizarre, but it's the way it goes. Hawthorn are stars, right? I tell you what, they're one of the last teams I'd want to be playing at the moment. If you were any team at the moment, they've got their sails up. The wind's blowing. They got their sails high and they're just flying. They're cruising, the Hawks. But they need to probably win five out of the last 6 games to get in the finals, which would be which would be a fantastic job done by them this season. You've come out of nowhere. Because they weren't there. They weren't in it last year, or even the first few games of the year. They weren't in it, but they've really turned the tide and come good. A little bit like Brisbane. Brisbane have done good. Anyway, I'm going to turn this back around for the latecomers to check out the score. There we go. Now we're back. Sana all. That is it. That is it. All right. Just doing this. But there we go. Carlton only 1 goal 5 after half time. Just not good enough, folks. In this day and age, if you want to win a game of footy, you've got to do better than that. And of course, Port Adelaide, 7 goals 8. They definitely had everything on their terms, as you can see. The worm here. Of course, Carlton just ran away, but Port Adelaide stemmed the tide. And then after half time, it was just all Port Adelaide. They came home with a big rush. All right, folks, thanks all for coming in. Appreciate that. We will definitely see you tomorrow for the next game. And the next game will be North Melbourne taking on the Cats down at Bloodstone Arena in Hobart. Here we go. North Melbourne a little chance, but I think, Mike, right now, predict a winner for the premiership. Holy Toledo. Let me just chuck this back on the ladder. I need to have a look. Can it be a fairy tale that Hawthorn can do it? Can it be a fairy tale? But I tell you what, I thought I saw the grand finalists last week in Sydney and Brisbane. That's what I thought. Let's see how Fremantle goes. Geelong, you know what? They're just up and down at the moment, so you can't rule on them. Essendon, I think no. I think the Giants just haven't got it. I think Port Adelaide, the one thing, they went good tonight, but I think the one thing they lack down is a key forward, and Charlie Dixon, he just got owned tonight. Hey, Novus, mega love shout out. Welcome in. How you going, Novus? How you going? Good stuff. Western Bulldogs, freaky chance, Hawthorn freaky chance. But as we know it, folks, normally the ones who win the flag usually come from within the top 4 at the end of the season. And, that being said, anyone could end up top 4 because it's so close. It could be, just one game that separates 2nd to 6th. After this round's complete. You know what, Addy? You've definitely got to give Fremantle one big chance. Let me just have a look over here. Let me have a look at the odds. For the premiership, we've got 350. Sydney Swans are the favourite. $5 for Carlton. Well, you know what? Carlton, I've got to say, I don't think Carlton can win the flag. That they go well, but they do struggle to finish off in big games, big moments when they need to do it. And tonight was one of those moments. We've got $20 for Port Adelaide to win the flag. Brisbane Lions, I tell you what, Brisbane Lions could be a big chance. Big chance. They're at $4.50. Fremantle, if you want, I tell you what, Addy G, if you want to back Fremantle for the flag, you probably want to do that now. They're $10. I think after the weekend, if they have a big win against West Coast and they actually end up second on the ladder, I think that will tighten in. We're at the Giants at $10. Geelong, we've got the Geelong at 15 to win the flag. We've got Essendon 50 to 1 to win the flag. We've got the Dogs 15. $20 for who? Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide at $20. $20. That may have come in. We'll have to update sports bet for that one. But yeah, they were $20. And it's still got $20 right now for Port Adelaide to win the flag. But I don't think they're strong enough. I don't think they're good enough to win the flag. Who else we got? We've got Melbourne. They're 67. Hawthorn are at $34 to win. Now for Hawthorn, you know, they need to beat Adelaide tomorrow, and they need Sydney to beat the Dogs and Essendon to lose. You know, Melbourne to lose to sort of jump up there. You know, that if North Melbourne beat Geelong, and well, if Melbourne beat the Giants, I tell you what, that's going to be really interesting. But, you know, that being said, I still think it's going to come from a top 4 side. So I'm thinking, you know what, Fremantle are probably in the best position they've been in a long, long time to win a flag. They look to have good run about them. I think it, you know what, I think it may well come down to Brisbane or Fremantle who is going to win the flag this year. Anything is possible this season. You are 100% correct. And of course, if you want to get on the Magpies to win the flag, to go back to back, they're at 100 to 1. Centre all should be 1,000 to 1. Should be 1,000 to 1. Definitely anywhere under 11th. I think their season is over. Anywhere under 11th, because I think we're going to see a few breakaways coming up in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Just with the way the rounds are going to be played. So, yeah, Freo $10 and Brisbane $4.50. Sydney, tell you what, this is the time when you need to start to run into your form and good form, you know. And Sydney are not in form. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Whereas Fremantle have won 4 of their last 5 and Brisbane have won their last 5 games. There we go. So there we go. The only thing plays in Sydney's favour is they'll no doubt get the home game. But let's see how they go over the weekend, the next match against the Western Bulldogs. That'll give us a good guide to see what Sydney's chances are at the end. But, you know, if you like Fremantle, they're at $10 at the moment. They're at $10 at the moment. Fixture. So Fremantle have got West Coast. And then Fremantle, well, this is going to be another test for Fremantle next week as well, because they play Essendon at the MCG. Now, Fremantle, they need to win away. That's also another big test for them. So let's see how that goes. And next week, Brisbane's got St Kilda at Marvel Stadium. Hey, well, it's going to be an interesting few weeks. Hey, what? This is by far the best season we've had in a long, long time, where it can be anyone's chance for victory for the grand prize of hold the cup up high on grand final day. There we go. All right. Thanks everyone for coming in. I will turn my voice off because I think everyone's heard enough of my voice just for now, and I'll leave this up for 5 minutes just for any latecomers who want to come in and just check out the scores and have a look at the worm here to see that Carlton were in front for one big portion of that game, and of course Port Adelaide just here and just here. So there we go. Port Adelaide ended up victors by 14 points, 24-point turnaround in that final term. There we go. All right, folks. Thanks a lot. Ciao for now. We'll see you tomorrow on the next game. Which is, my gosh, North Melbourne versus Geelong. North Melbourne versus Geelong. All right, that's me over and out. Ciao for now. We'll see you in the next live. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ciao, ciao. Just while this is on for a couple of minutes, for any latecomers, we'll listen to the coach, Michael Voss of Carlton.
All through that midfield, like we do through the defence and like we do up forward. So it's not all about Charlie. It's not all about Weeders. It's not all about Cripper. So we're going to build off some better fundamentals than that.
It looked like Patrick got, I know he cops a fair bit every game, but maybe a couple of nasty ones to the shoulder. Is he okay? And also Jacob maybe another call for you?
He's had a few. I don't know what he actually had when he come off, so I don't know what he was getting assessed for. So I'll get that brief in a second. I don't think there's anything sinister in either. He's got a few bruises though, isn't he? But we're finding our way through that. But you know, at the end of this stage of the season, there's just bumps and bruises. They've all got them. It's not just us. You know, everyone in the competition has. So, but what we do have in front of us is an unbelievable opportunity, and it's well and truly in our control. So we've got a month to go. You know, the game's become critically important for me.
David, it look like he's dislocated?
Yeah, dislocated shoulder. So I don't even know the mechanics of how it actually happened, but losing him early wasn't ideal. But yeah, obviously we've had Jack come in and do a wonderful job over the previous time. So we'll get that assessed and see what that damage is.
Is it probably not looking good early on? Or?
Oh, I couldn't really tell, but no, he's had it before. So yeah, not expecting the best news. No.
That's good.
All right, thanks. Cheers. Thank you.
All right, that was a little bit of Michael Voss, the coach of Carlton. All right, folks, that's it. Over and out. Thanks, manager. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. Thanks, Eddie G. Thanks, Novus. Thanks, ET. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everybody. And everybody else who popped in to say hello. Good stuff. All right, that's it. I will end this now. Well done, Port Adelaide. Great victory. Great come from behind. Of 14-point victors to Port over Carlton. All right, folks, I'm out. Siggy, ciao for now, says the manager. Good stuff, Lang. Good stuff. There we go. When we get the ciao for now, we know it's time. All right, folks. Congratulations to the winner. Yeah, Port Adelaide won. Yeah, they were good. Congrats to them and commiserations to Carlton. And there's always next week for them. All right, folks, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. North Melbourne versus Geelong down in Hobart. Should be another good game. We'll see you on that one. Take care. Bye. Ciao for now.